12670. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Wednesday, September 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 98. Coming up on OTB, Matt Flynn joins the show in studio at 8 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in to another day of OTB, Wednesday, September 6th, 2023. Going to be a fun show today as we turn the page and look forward to week 2 of college football, week 1 of the NFL, kicking off tomorrow. The OTB League got a little fantasy draft last night, maybe a little hour 3, or no, maybe we'll get into that in Flestry in a little bit since Matt is in the league, and Matt is confirmed as actually coming back to the show today for the first time in a couple of months.
He's trying to get those football ratings, my high logos.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Odd.
Had no desire to be on the show during the doldrums of summer when viewers are low and numbers are low, but all of a sudden, all the listeners come back, and here comes Matt riding in on his hydration-based horse.
Front runner.
I'm still on my hiatus until he apologizes. Thank you to whoever gave me that joke last week. I wish I could credit you. I can't remember who it was. Brian Kelly met with the media yesterday. There's only one answer. It's kind of a lot of it was a bit of a nothing burger, but there was one consistent theme and one answer that really embodies that theme that we'll get into. We got a new AP Top 25, kind of maybe talk little LSU going forward, NFL kicking off this week, Flestering College Football Week 2 preview. So all this and more going to be a great day here on OTB, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. How are we feeling, boys? Jake, what's up, dude?
Doing okay. Today's the first day that it is really like, hey, bud, like you're in it. You're in the deep end. Today's the day, and it's, here on OTB, it's LSU podcast, it's pregame in the SEC, it's off campus, it's football practice. So today's that first day of football season where you got all the things.
You got to put your blinders on.
Yeah.
Whatever's immediately in front of you. It's the only way to make it. How are we feeling, boys, back there? Mario, Taylor, feeling well?
Yeah, feeling good. Like Jake said, busy in a good way. Got 2 games to call this weekend. Friday night, Little Central, then Saints-Titans on Sunday. So,
nice.
Yeah, busy in a good way.
Hell yeah. What about you, Taylor?
I don't have to call any games this weekend, so my weekend is wide open, and it's going to be relaxing.
All right.
Whoa. You can't come in here with those khakis on, with the boots and a button-up shirt, and not, tell us what's the deal.
Nothing. Ever since I got the boots, I've just been wearing more pants. And then because you can't wear boots with shorts, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you can.
if anybody could.
For fun. Yeah, like a music festival.
Yeah.
Or if I was doing some sort of substances, then yes. But just like a casual jaunt around the workplace in shorts and boots would feel a bit awkward. I'll try it on, though. I can try it on later in the week.
You just look real official.
It does feel real official, which is interesting. But I have 3 button-up shirts that I kind of wear sometimes. Yesterday I had one on, so I don't know. I couldn't find my I don't know. It doesn't matter. I am going to read to a kindergarten class immediately after the show ends. So maybe I subconsciously wanted to put my best foot forward in terms of impressing these 5-year-olds.
I will guarantee that kindergarten class is about to get the best reading that they've ever had. You are not going to have someone that's going to come in that room and give it his all like T-Bob Hebert is about to give it his all. I mean, here in a couple hours.
For about 10 years now, to go to sleep every single night of my life, I put on a book on tape with a 15-minute sleep timer. And then, obviously I listen all the time during the day. So, I've got my 10,000 hours when it comes to listening to books on tape. I've fully read and voiced Harry Potter. I've fully read and voiced The Hobbit. So, yeah, you're right. And I'll say that with my chest firmly puffed out. 5-star reading coming up at kindergarten later today. But let's talk about competitive edge, because it appeared to be the only thing that Coach Brian Kelly wanted to talk about yesterday. What he highlighted as what he thought was the biggest problem with this team, saying that when he talked about it after the game that I guess he didn't know this team, that he was surprised about some of that lack of fire. And it's something that we talked about on Monday, sure, right? The kind of quitting in the second half, some jogging on the backside of plays, all this sort of stuff was referenced. I think this. And look, he doesn't agree with, let's do this. Let's play the final answer, which kind of encapsulates, I think, his feelings on the entire 25-minute press conference. And then we'll break it down. Here was Brian Kelly talking about what he thought the biggest issue was.
I think they're with play calling. We could have been better defensively and making some less spy calls and bringing more pressure. I mean, I could attack the whole thing. The bottom line is I've got to get our football team thinking the right way and play with a competitive edge. And football, this game of football, it is hard to win. If you don't play with a competitive edge, if you are not locked in and disciplined and focused, we can have a conversation about all these things all the time. If you have a competitive edge, if you recognize how hard this game is and you're focused, none of the crap that I just mentioned will matter because they'll overcome it.
Yeah, so some people, I saw one edit where like at one point he's asked about more creative play calling and he laughs it off as being kind of ridiculous and is like, I'm not even going to entertain that. Then the edits have been making the rounds. Later, it's like that clip where he's like, we could have been better at play calling. But in the actual full context of the answer, you can see he absolutely does not believe that. Like he said none of that crap. Talking about the offensive and defensive critiques of the play calling. None of that crap matters if you have competitive edge. So clearly does not agree with my assertion that the Tigers version of the spread offense was a bit bland and a bit old school, especially compared to FSU, and that you could have done better jobs of putting players in positions to succeed. Doesn't agree on both sides of the ball, which I thought was one of my main takeaways. So I guess the question that becomes, Jake, does competitive edge solve all the problems that he mentioned?
Well, I do think the things that he mentioned, like he noticed. I don't think that.
Well, the only reason I'm saying though is because early, the answer right before he straight up was like he laughed off play calling, like that's ridiculous. I'm not getting into it. There's nothing wrong there.
Well, I think if you say something like in the second answer, and I hadn't heard the first answer yet though, but like you notice like it can improve. The competitive part of it, like if we're just taking that answer of it, yeah, I mean, we all noticed that. That's something that everybody came here and we talked about on Monday, and you continue to watch the tape. And yesterday we broke down the tape, we talked about it, and it can certainly be a portion of it. I think, obviously, like attention to detail is another thing that's got to help that. And maybe he throws that into competitive edge.
That's in his competitive edge for sure.
Like for me, competitive edge is like get the dog out of you.
Yeah, and he talked about, I mean, the competitive edge to him, it encapsulates those things, right? It's guys like we talked about. Well, he referenced one play. Somebody's supposed to be playing the curl, and they're looking at the quarterback, right? And then you went through the quarter half coverage yesterday, where man's just not on the hash where he's supposed to be. So, yes, I think competitive edge is about effort and execution, kind of mainly first and foremost. As he also talked about guys jogging on the backside of plays or just not necessarily playing like their hair was on fire.
Yeah, and that's something that pops off. And the play calling stuff is what it is. We went through some of that too, and where you had guys, and we did more on defense probably than offense. I know the offense was something that the first drive you got a lot, like you got a lot of eye candy, and then that went away. And again, like first 2 plays you had the eye candy, you had Aaron Anderson on a jet sweep, and then you're very successful, and then he only plays 6 plays in the game. So, like, those are the things, like, when it's play calling, sometimes it's not even what you didn't do, it's why you didn't go back to some things or why you didn't do things that were successful.
No, look, I agree. I mean, for the most part, LSU's spread looked like reading the dictionary, whereas FSU's looked like surfing the internet. But again, that's not like maybe I'm making too much of
encyclopedia
it. Collection. Yeah, heck yeah, that's what I mean. Yes, the old the old hardcover encyclopedias. No, so I don't. But again, I don't know that. I don't know that Coach Kelly agrees that that's the main issue, and so maybe it's not. Maybe it is more about everything he's mentioning, kind of not believing that you've already arrived, doing the tiny things, focusing in on your responsibility, do your job. Essentially, is what he got into yesterday. I would argue that competitive edge extends to the play calling, right? And that in the same way that the players didn't execute their jobs, the coaches could also do better jobs executing as well. I mean, you don't get your ass kicked in the way that you did and not have room for improvement and to go around. And certainly he kind of referenced that as well.
You expect to see any changes like we saw last year from week 1 to week 2, like in that manner?
I mean, I don't know. I'll be interested to see maybe if off the bat, like offensive line, I can maybe see something. Do you start to rep Lance Hurd if you really think that that's your best 5 out there with him at a right tackle and Emory Jones down there guard? Although I think a lot was made of we can get into a Miles Frazier thing yesterday.
I was curious your thoughts on that.
So I guess one of the Florida State defenders came out and said that in the fourth quarter, 70, he said he thought it was 70, so it may not even be Miles, right? But he said he thought that 70, told him like, man, like y'all are really good, talking about the Florida State defensive line. And I ended up like kind of tweeting something about it, but I think people were taking it a little, like I don't think there's any one way to play the game, okay? Me personally, I was a big never even show, the slightest window of kindness to your opponent, right? I wanted to be on full 1,000% a-hole bully mode 24/7, never help anybody up. If I saw you helping somebody up, we were going to get mad at you, like all that, right? But that's not the only way to play the game. Like there are dominant players who are kind of chill guys. So I guess I tweeted something kind of along the lines of like, man, this is kind of bad too, because on film, like Frazier got blown up like 3 or 4 times, right? Yeah. And so it kind of got like maybe like a little Stockholm syndrome. But people, I don't know, man, people ran so far with it and were acting like, this is the problem with the entire team and he's soft and this and that. I ended up deleting the tweets. I'm like, I don't want to feed into this because I don't actually believe this. Like, it's okay to be like, it's y'all are good or whatever. I don't think that's why Miles Frazier got beat a couple times or pushed around a couple times. It really wasn't that bad. Like the offensive line was not that bad overall. I feel like they did because, well, they were really good, the Florida State defensive line. So while it's not for me personally,
I mean,
talking to the opponent like that, I don't actually make that much of a big deal of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, and I was curious to get your thoughts because I knew you played that style. It's kind of the style that I played in. Like, we're not going to be buddies. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to tell you you're doing good. I'm not going to give you an attaboy, certainly during a game. I think when you hear a comment like that and then you watch how, in the totality of the film and you see kind of how it went, like it's going to heighten that comment. It's going to make it even worse.
No doubt. Yeah.
Right? And when you feel like you got bullied and saying things like that, like, oh, man, good job. It's like, wait a minute. I just don't know. So
it used to freak me out when people would act like that on the football field. I remember against Washington one time, like, very beginning of the game, and I'm just frothed up to full-on anger and, take this guy driving like 15 yards. And he's like, wow, great block, man. Great block. And I'm just like, what? Like, I'm trying to stay mad at you. You can't be nice. You have to feed into my anger. Like, have you ever tried to argue with somebody who won't argue back? It's impossible. It's incredibly frustrating when you're angry. So I don't know.
I didn't like it when opponents did it.
No.
To me.
No.
Like, man, what are you doing?
So, but again, I don't know. I don't want to, like, it's not the reason you lost the game or anything. If you really wanted to, you could argue, like, it's indicative of the overall attitude of this team, but I don't know if I agree with that either. But I guess that would kind of factor into competitive edge, maybe, arguably, right? If we wanted to tie together the themes.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it does. I'll be honest with you. I think if it's what you need, if you need to think the other way because you're lacking in competitive edge, then that's what the conversation kind of becomes.
Again, I'll be interested to see. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be any personnel changes?
I don't know. I mean, last year, this is where you saw the changes. This is where you saw Emory Jones play tackle for the first time. You had a new center, and this isn't really an offensive line conversation because I don't think that they were the main problem why he lost his football game.
They were probably the best group on the field, right? I mean, maybe D-line. No, you can't say D-line. I don't think after you give up. Yeah, and after you give up like 7,000 yards. So, yeah, I would say offensive line was the best group on the field.
So, I'm not even saying that group. This is where we saw them last year. We saw major changes from game 1 to game 2. I'm just curious if you'll see any. Will you see any of the young guys? Because I don't think anybody in this room had Emory Jones playing in the second game and then ultimately becoming a starter pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I don't know what's going to continue to happen with the secondary. Do you try to shuffle some pieces around there, move guys around? Certainly in terms of Harold Perkins' role, like Brian Kelly referenced, finding a happy medium. So they're going to have to change some of how they're using him or just put him in better positions to succeed. They said they're sticking with Aaron Anderson at returner, so maybe not movement there, saying that he just needs to focus on his fundamentals so that he gets outside himself and thinks he can just do it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, if I answer as well, like if I also believe, which I do, that was more about Florida State just being better than you, then personnel changes, like there's not nearly as many that need to take place as last year. And that also makes sense because you know this team way more intimately than you did last year. So we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. I would like to see some more play calling creativity, though, for sure, personally. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's talk a little bit about what you can accomplish against Grambling this week, and then we'll look at that new AP Top 25. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. You go to Central Plumbing and, well, you're going to take advantage of 50 years of experience. At Central Plumbing, they have that competitive edge and that creative pipe fixing, okay? So I don't care what it is, a sink, a bathroom, a shower. Maybe you're doing a bathroom remodel, right? Finally get that bathroom of your dreams. Well, it's all there for you in Central. 925-8552. That's just the saying of the city. It's all there for you in Central. Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552.
Yeah, if I've heard that once, I've heard it 1,000 times. Yeah,
it's like Vegas.
Sure. Centralplumbing.org is the website, not only in emergencies, but 24/7 does mean 365 as well. So the other day when it's Labor Day and nobody's working except us, they could have come out to your house because they're always working over at Central Plumbing. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up and down on my last dime. Call in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. It's a What If Wednesday. We'll talk with J.D. Bikel of On3 Sports and the inaugural SEC Football Power Rankings. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. As far as this weekend goes, Jake, what felt tip plans are you working on? Is it a little week 2 preview you're cooking up?
Yep.
Yeah. It looks like we kind of got all the same games highlighted there.
Well, I think that it's a week where a team that had either a good week 0 and or week 1, like a good momentum, good or bad, like we thought they would do it or we weren't expecting that. They have interesting matchups and ones they have to be careful with.
It's a week where if you love college football, like every other week you're happy because there's college football, but it is a week where you have to go searching for the good games. Like this is a pretty pathetic start to me for the first 2 weeks of the season.
I got 9 that I really like.
I mean, but again, though, we're like, of course we really like it. All we do is talk and consume college football.
But, okay.
Like, where's the ranked unranked? Tulane Ole Miss. It's the only one.
But, like, Notre Dame traveling to take on NC State.
Again, I love that game. I got Notre Dame in the playoff. I got Hartman winning Heisman. Like, I need Notre Dame.
Yeah, so it's a road test.
No, absolutely. But, again, I'm talking about, like, the casual person showing up to the TV. They're not going to care about Notre Dame, NC State even. And that's one of the most exciting ones there.
We don't care about casuals.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. If college football, though, what I'm saying, if they're going to make all these Uber conferences, like everything they're doing is trying to capture the casual. And so it's just crazy to me that you have such a, like, where's all the ranked unranked battles? I mean, you got Tulane, Ole Miss, and then what? Texas Alabama, right? That's the only one?
Texas A&M, Miami is, like, close to it. I mean, Miami is receiving votes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
game.
Sure.
But that game.
But I'm excited. For that. Look, again, me and you are not good metrics though, because also I got off on watching Wyoming Texas Tech finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But I don't know.
I talked to their coach yesterday, and by the way, Coach Bull, like he is. If I was 65 years old and a head coach, that's me. Oh my God, he was so old school. I loved it.
God, I love Wyoming's end zones. Absolutely beautiful mountain ranges. Just a great setting, actually, in general. But whatever. Okay. So with that in mind, LSU is one of the boring games this weekend. And Jake, it's interesting. I was reading a Stuart Mandel piece who's all about, Brian Kelly, colossal misstep here in game number 1, yada, yada. And something, because, we keep saying, there's nothing you're going to be able to do over the next couple weeks to please the general public.
Right.
Right. You have to really focus inward, and you got to work for yourself, because that's all that matters at this point. The last line really reinforced it, where Mandel is quoting Brian Kelly, quote, "We've got a minimum of 11 more games," said Kelly, "and I'm going to tell you now, we're going to be better," close quote. And then Mandel writes, "We'll check back with him in November." So, that's how the national media is going to view LSU at this point.
Oh, without question.
I don't care what you do against even Mississippi State. They don't care what you do at the beginning. They aren't going to care about you again until Alabama. And so, you know what? That's not an awful place to be. Who cares? You don't need attaboys. You don't need praise. All you need to focus on is what you can do to get better in that time. And so, yeah, everybody who's yelling at you on Twitter, everybody who's upset, all the, us on the show sitting here critiquing, talking about what you could have done better. Nothing you're going to do this weekend is going to make us believe that you can beat Alabama or win a championship or anything, but that doesn't mean that you can't do things that can lead to those goals, right? I don't think you can, or I don't think you will, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out there, or that you shouldn't. You have to. You have to go out there and you have to work on you. You have to try to improve, and you have to fix whatever issues showed up week 1 so that you're a better team when you do get back to the big stage later in the year.
Yeah, if you need attaboys, you got plenty in the offseason.
Yeah, there's a problem.
So that should have fulfilled you for your attaboy quotient there before, but quota.
I know what you meant.
I know. I got to fix it. Got to go back. Got to watch the tape.
Edit.
But for me, you fell into the same position last year. It's the same thing that you did. So you have something to lean on as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back and you can say, hey, last year, because I don't know for UT. For me, if I lose by 21, 28, if I lose by a point, a loss is going to be a loss, and it's going to sting. In the game last year against Florida State, that thing could have been worse than it was. So, don't allow the point total to really affect your thought process. You lost the game, just like you lost a year ago. So don't think you can't do the same things that you did a year ago within that building. They have to have that same belief.
Yeah, I did think that there was one interesting kind of perspective that Brian Kelly offered on it, which was last year's team was used to being at the bottom. They had suffered the sting of being actually bad, and they knew what that felt like, how awful and miserable it was. And so because of that, it gives you extra motivation to be like, hey, you know what? I don't ever want to end up here again. This year's team, he said, because granted, a lot of them are young guys whose first year of football would have been last season. I mean, all they experienced was overachieving, right? Being praised, beating Alabama year 1, winning 10 games, winning the SEC West. And so this team kind of took on that feeling of, okay, you know what? We're going to walk out there, we're going to roll the ball out there, and we're going to accomplish all that again. Did not happen. So now the question is this one loss enough to help this team find the fire, the drive, the attention to detail that last year's team did with 6 losses or whatever? Was it 7 by the Texas Bowl a couple of years ago? Can this one loss on the big stage spur you in the same way? We're going to find out. And that comes down to leadership. And I think it should, man, because also LSU's not that bad, like we said. There's a lot of good on that tape. That's all very fixable problems.
It is. And you have a get-right game this week that none of us, really nobody even in that stadium is going to give you credit for. We've laid it out. And I feel like we'll probably give you more because we understand how difficult it would be to go on the road in the SEC, win a couple of games, beat Arkansas at home. So, I'm going to give you, some praise for that because if you go beat Mississippi State, if you beat Ole Miss, certainly, if you beat Mizzou, if you beat Arkansas at home, national talking heads might not give you praise for that, but that is the perfect formula to continue to build to what you want to get to. So you have the opportunity.
Yes, I agree. And again, the only people that aren't going to check in on this, we're going to be here every step along the way, obviously, right? And everybody listening will be, and we'll be caring. We'll be breaking everything down in detail. And then the only people who aren't going to care, it's the national spotlight. And then look, But you are guaranteed to get that national spotlight back, right? So you're going to have a chance for redemption on the big stage. This next time, you just got to make sure you're ready for it. How do you get ready for it? These next few weeks. Making the most of every opportunity that you have to hit the field. Harold Perkins, over the next few weeks, figure out what your role is going to be, how you're going to be used, and how you're going to execute on that game plan. Mason Smith, figure out what it feels like to play football once again, right? Reach back to that dominant level, because that was already a really good interior defensive line on Saturday. You add Mason Smith, that makes it becomes damn really good. If you're the secondary, you got to execute better on the zone coverages when they're called. And, I mean, quite frankly, you just got to probably find ways to be better, to maximize everything that your physical skill set can attain.
I would throw this opportunity, T-Bob, more to the Tennessee 40-13 loss than even last year's opening loss. Because if you're looking for a comp, well, 40-13 is a butt whipping.
Yeah.
Right? And
yes, true.
After that, you had to go on the road to Florida. You had to play Ole Miss. You had to play Alabama. You had to play Arkansas on the road. And you rallied off victory, 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 victory. And then you beat UAB as well. But that, you had the A&M, one that's hard to explain. But we have proof of you getting just embarrassed in your own stadium and then coming back, going on the road in the SEC. Was Florida great last year? No, but they did have Anthony Richardson. It made that game very intriguing, and then you come back against Ole Miss, and then you beat Alabama in overtime, and then you find a way to win against Arkansas. So there's not going to be excuses. Like, you did this with a lot of the same guys. 80% of these guys did it a year ago. You just got to go do it.
Yeah.
You got to bounce back. And during that time, like, you went and beat Florida, and I cared. Flynn cared because we hate Florida. T-Bob cared. But, like, you didn't get a lot of attaboys after that victory.
No.
And then you started to maybe get some when you beat Ole Miss. And then you got a bye week. And it was like, can you do it? And then certainly you started to get some after Alabama. But you can't worry about that. You got to put your head down and go to work. You did it after the Florida State game last year. You beat Southern, Mississippi State, New Mexico, on the road against Auburn. So you've done it before. You have to dig deep, find that in that past because you've done it in the past, and just go out there and play football and not worry about the headlines.
Yeah. And, look, figure out the return game. You know, Aaron Anderson, you gotta figure it out. The units blocking on return. If you're not willing to go hard, then get out. Then you don't deserve those reps. You got to figure out how to motivate this team. The wide receivers have to get on the same page with Jaden Daniels. They just have to be more effective if they're going to have that much talent in that room. And then everything, like I said, I think the coaches, and this comes with time as well, because, you know, live reps versus offseason are different. The coaches have to put these players in better positions as well. And these are all perfect opportunities to work on all of that over the next few weeks as you start this slow climb back to relevancy. So this is where, just like Jake, what we say, like with a busy day coming up today, you just put the blinders on, you focus in on the task at hand. Like, that's exactly what this team has to do. Like, I would not touch you can't, I mean, whatever, you're gonna see social media stuff, but you just let it go like water off your back. None of it matters. No outside noise matters. All that matters is you doing your job, practicing your craft every single day. And when you work like that, like when you work with that focus and you remove all the excess baggage, it's one of those deals where you almost step out of space and time, and then you look up and it's been 2 months and you're a much better football player than you were 2 months ago. So we'll see. And that starts with Grambling this Saturday. So, like, yes, will I have Texas and Alabama on the television as well? Absolutely. But I will also be watching this LSU team intently to see where the improvement takes place and if they're accomplishing these goals, because there is a lot you could accomplish against Grambling this Saturday.
Doesn't have to just be Texas and Alabama. So, you know, you can have other games on as well.
Well, I'm just talking about they're going head-to-head time-wise.
Got Lafayette Duke.
Yeah, I saw that. For sure.
Yeah.
That is a game that is also taking place at 7.
Yep.
You gonna have that one on the iPad?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oregon,
sure.
Texas Tech on the phone.
Yeah.
UC Davis, Oregon State on the
I
laptop.
would be more intrigued by Oregon, Texas Tech if they already hadn't gotten exposed as frauds.
For sure.
Unfortunately. All right, when we get back, more to be.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z Windows. Easy as 1, 2, 3. is K to Z.
K2Z.
Sorry. Go to K2ZBlinds.com, K2ZBlinds.com for all your custom window blinds, shades, ventilation, shutters, coverings. You know that you press a button and all of a sudden the shades drop down like super secret agent style to make your outdoor kitchen nice and shaded. You can watch the games outside. Whatever the case may be, all your custom windows and coverings at K2ZBlinds.com.
Yeah, inside and outside, interior, exterior, they've got you covered. Like T-Bob mentioned, blinds, shutters, shades, drapes. They have it all. We've been telling you over the last couple of days and weeks, though, those screen shade systems out there in your outdoor space. So if you want to watch the football game, you want to be able to have that, hey, we got the window open feel, but you can't do that here in South Louisiana. Well, you can do it because it's going to block out those bugs, going to block out the UV rays. Go ahead, get them to come out, give you that shade quote today, and that's K2ZBlinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2640.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Russ Mitchell joins us, talk a little SEC football. We head up to Nashville to check in on the Tennessee Titans before they head to the Dome. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB here on 104.5 ESPN. There's some talk in the chat about there was a bit of a weird exchange in the press conference yesterday where Jacques Doucet asked Brian Kelly about, about saying we're going to beat the heck out of Florida State. And kind of implied that, was it said in jest, kind of taken out of context. And I don't know, Kelly intimated. At first, it sounded like he was talking about, it kind of got blown up because that's what social media does. But then the more that he answered, it sounds like he didn't think he said it at all. So I don't know. Memory's a weird thing. You should read Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. Sometimes you can be like, you can't always trust your memory, right? Both ways. You forget stuff definitely happened, and you remember stuff that definitely did not. So it was weird. I have no great takeaway or anything on it. It was just kind of weird because he seemed to think that he never said it, but like y'all said, there's literally ESPN package footage entering the game where you hear him say it. So, but who cares? Because I want my coach to say they're going to beat the heck out of the team. What else have you been doing, right? I mean, what are you going to say? I don't know. We might lose. I don't think that's the attitude that I want you entering the game. That's not the competitive spirit.
Yeah, if y'all knew some of the things that some coaches say in right before you walk out.
Yeah.
I mean, just hand wave that off.
Yeah. So I don't man. Between that and the sissy blue though and everything, it's been a bad 4-year run here, boys. It's been a bad run of first games.
I forgot about Sissy Blue.
Yeah, Sissy Blue was awesome until it wasn't too. New AP Top 25. No real surprise here. Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Bama 3, Florida State 4. Of course, nice job by the Seminoles. Ohio State 5. USC 6, Penn State 7, our Washington Huskies 8, Tennessee 9. And Notre Dame creeping up to number 10 in the country, edging out Texas out of that top 10, as it should be. What do you think? Any surprises here? LSU's only dropping to 14, so still on this list?
Yeah, I mean, certainly gives you an opportunity. If I was giving my top 3, if we did this based off what we saw and not what we think, I think it would be Michigan, Florida State, Georgia.
I would probably go Michigan, Georgia, Florida State, but yeah, I mean, look, I would love to see Florida State and Georgia on a football field right now. I was thinking about this a bit yesterday. Where does Georgia have the advantage there? Because it almost just feels like a push. Only Florida State has a better quarterback situation.
Yeah,
and a better weapons situation. On the lines,
they would be relatively equal. I like the running backs for Georgia better than I do Florida State.
They're injured all hell.
But when Kendall Milton's healthy, Florida State didn't have a guy as good as Kendall Milton. I wasn't. That was the one spot that I still don't walk away highly impressed with Florida State. I still think they can grow in that room and maybe settle on a guy. It's like they were trying to find it and they never found it against LSU. Benson was certainly that guy last year, but I mean, it'd be a hell of a matchup.
Yeah.
I would give Florida State advantages certainly in that game. I would have them, off what we saw, I would have them right behind Michigan.
I would go Michigan, UGA, Florida State, Alabama, Notre Dame. I think is how I would have my top 5 based on what we've seen.
Again, but so because I wasn't as high on Alabama, I still have questions. You're not going to get an attaboy after beating Middle Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really going to change my mind.
So
this
where
weekend,
would you put Bama?
Probably somewhere around 6.
Okay, so who would be 4 and 5 in yours?
I think Washington would be one of the spots.
Okay.
Washington would be 4 or 5. I mean, after what? Okay, so you play against a team that is not what it was, certainly, but Boise State's going to be a quality opponent.
Yeah.
They're going to have players that are going to play on Sundays. They're going to be lined up and the entire thing. I can't say that about Middle Tennessee State. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Sorry, Chris Childers. But, they went out there and dominated Boise State.
Yeah.
They had 3 receivers right at 100 yards. Michael Penix did his thing. And so I would have Washington probably 4. And then it can become a conversation, maybe Penn State 5, Alabama 6. I don't know. Like, maybe you interchange those two. I don't know. Again, my expectations for Alabama coming into this year were that's about where they would be. And then you beat a Middle Tennessee, it's not going to really change that. It can change this weekend if they go out there and dominate Texas.
Yeah, obviously. Which, 7.5-point favorites at home. If you let Texas go into T-Town and beat you, Steve Sarkisian, that would truly shock me.
If that happens, what's going to be? Are you going to have a reaction like to that if that happens? You and Aaron?
I wish, but no, because I'm going to be doing whiskey and wine.
Oh.
Yeah. I know. I do numbers, but what are you going to do? So, and actually, I'd rather be doing whiskey and wine because it's like my favorite thing to do every week. It's so much fun, so that's fine. Outside the top 10, you got Texas taking it 11, Utah 12. We actually put Utah number 7 on our list yesterday. We had Utah as the first of the Pac-12 teams. Utah, Washington, USC at 7, 8, 9. But Utah 12, Oregon 13, LSU 14, Kansas State 15, Oregon State 16, well-earned, North Carolina up to 17. And then you got, the only thing to really jump off, to not just go through every team, Tulane in the top 25, so ranked-on-ranked matchup there with Ole Miss, and then Colorado obviously checking in at 22, and Duke up to 21.
Here's where I have a real problem. Here's where I have a real problem with the top 25 and the preseason talk and the narrative. We see action on the field, so we actually have games to go off of. And then you turn in a coaches poll that has Clemson 21st in the country and Duke 24th. Make that math make sense to me. Duke just went out and beat the hell out of Clemson. 3-score game. And you're going to put Clemson 3 spots ahead of where you have Duke. We have 1 game sample size. Team A played Team B. Team B beat the hell out of Team A, and Team A still ranked ahead of them.
So that's in the coaches poll? I haven't even seen the coaches poll
Coaches
yet.
poll, Clemson's 21 and Duke's 24.
Well, that's pathetic.
What?
Clemson is 25th in the AP poll for whatever that is worth, barely hanging on. We could talk more Clemson about the crumbling empire potentially. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Maybe I'll see you there later today as I had a tire blowout yesterday, all interstate. Just all of a sudden, just
the word on the street though was like that thing got fixed pretty quick.
Yeah. So again, I'm not looking for any praise or I don't need anybody to tell me how good this was, but I did have that spare on there within 10 minutes. Just like quick. Like multiple people stopped and said, "Wow, how'd you learn how to change tires so well?" I said, "Well, it's just kind of when you're a man, it just kind of comes with the territory."
Did you unbutton that shirt and take it off while you're doing it?
Praise or recognition, but yes, it got sweaty and greasy. I mean, that's working on cars. What can you say? But that tire ain't getting fixed, dog. I mean, that thing is blown out. So I'll be heading by allstartoyotabatonrouge today. Going to take advantage of that incredible service department. Shout out Tom Wagaspack and the crew. Shout out All-Star Toyota, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Cannaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
This Sunday, as we bring you 3 NFL Week 1 matchups, we'll kick things off with the noon kickoff, the 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then immediately following that game, we'll bring you the Philadelphia Eagles at the New England Patriots, and then your nightcap, the Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants, here on 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. 104.5 ESPN. Hope that everyone's having a great morning. Mario, you're probably not having that good of a morning. As it's announced yesterday that the Pelicans' Trey Murphy suffers a left knee injury, a meniscus injury during a workout, to be specific. It is unclear still the severity, whether or not surgery will be required. If surgery is required, well, then obviously we're not that far away from the start of the season, and you may not have Trey Murphy for the start of the year. So it's great. What's the one thing you need this year? Shooting, a fast start. Well, don't worry. We're going to just take out the player that from February to the end of last season made more threes for everyone in the NBA save for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Ooh. Yeah, man, that sucks. The timing, too. We were talking about something in the chat. I sent the meme having to do with the Pelicans and injuries, and, of course, this happens. And, you know, nobody believes that Zion's going to be healthy. That's fair. It's what we've seen in the last 4 years. But the reason I keep hope for this season is because of Herb Jones and because of Trey Murphy. And now you might be without one of those guys to start. So, yeah, that really sucks.
So what's the timetable? It's a torn meniscus, right?
Yes.
We don't know if it's surgery or not.
So
yet.
the article from Adrian Wojnarowski says that a surgical procedure on a meniscus would likely sideline Murphy for the first few months of the season. If he doesn't have surgery, he's going to miss a lot less time. Maybe
a few months?
Yes, if he needs surgery.
I had meniscus surgery and played 8 days later in the Sugar Bowl.
I'm not sure exactly what the injury is. That's just what Woj is saying in the article. If he doesn't have surgery, you're maybe looking at 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
6 to 8 weeks.
Actually, it might have been 6 days later.
Would 6 to 8 weeks get you back in, when's the season start? November?
Oh, yeah, late October, November.
Or late October? Okay.
Probably just missed a couple of weeks. Huge difference.
All right.
Yeah, it's very
Honestly,
different.
shout out to Jake. Those 6 days later, that's impressive.
Well, I mean, basketball, movements are different, but still,
that's the difference between
months in 6 days.
Yeah, no, Zion had the injury to his toe and missed 2 years. Derrick Henry missed like 8 games and was back. It's very different.
Holdemayo said they said last night it wasn't serious.
Yeah.
So, have you seen that?
Yeah, somebody who works for Forbes, like Dotson, Chris Dotson, I believe is his name, said that he heard that it's not serious. So we will see.
Super serial. Okay.
High expectations for Trey. Like, really. I think he can be an all-star this season if all goes right. I mean, last year he upped his average by 9.1 points. The only person who had more improvement was Lauri Markkanen, who won Most Improved Player last year.
Yeah, and again, I mean, from February to the end of the league, he made till the end of the year, he made 97 threes. That was more than anybody except for Klay Thompson. Steph Curry made 100. So he was, he ended as, and that was like he kind of struggled maybe for a little stretch there in the middle, and then ended really strong. So yeah, Pelicans just can't escape it, man.
Nope.
But Zion does look jacked right now. Man, I'm not even saying that tongue in cheek. He legitimately looks great right now. Looks like he is in excellent shape. We saw those workout pictures a few days ago. Our boy is looking svelte and ready to roll.
Yeah, but you're forgetting one key point.
What?
He may look like Zion. That doesn't mean he feels like Zion, though.
That's also fair.
He will, because I'm going to the Gleason statue this Saturday, baby.
You're going to give Zion ALS. Be careful. You need to relax. Look, you don't need Trey Murphy when you got a healthy Zion, okay? That's all that matters. Lock up.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com. I'm going to say it thrice because the experience is so nice. You're going to feel younger, and look, while they can treat andropause, menopause, facial aging, mood and memory problems, insomnia, energy problems, sexual dysfunction, they don't treat lice. That was a really long time to go back to that rhyme, wasn't it? But look, you go to RejuveMe and you get your labs drawn, okay? You get that free consultation. You see exactly what your body needs, where it's efficient. They customize a plan for you. In that process, Jake, they've actually saved lives where they found things in that blood work that needed to be addressed. So it can just be an overall health check. But the bottom line is take control of your life. Feel young again. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Yeah, once you go to the website, you can see a full list of conditions they can treat for you, because maybe you have something going on, but you're not quite sure. And maybe you think it's something on this list, but it's something else. Go get that consultation. They'll get to the bottom line. RejuveMeMedical.com.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor, so you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast? All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Wednesday, September 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 98. Coming up on OTB, Matt Flynn joins the show in studio for a full hour of flestering. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It's hour 2 on a Wednesday, which means we have former national championship winning quarterback Matt Flynn here in the studio. Flestering is back as now that the summer doldrums are over and people are watching and listening to the show again. Matt decided to come pimp some hydration. What's up, dog?
What's up? You're
What's up,
never
dude?
a former national championship quarterback. Bizarre.
Yeah, I guess, actually. Hey, touche. I appreciate good wordplay. And I would say that, I don't know. I mean, you're not playing quarterback anymore.
Former quarterback.
Yeah.
Always
national championship winning quarterback. Yeah, no, former. So what's the end of that? National championship winning is an adjective. What's it describing? What type of quarterback? Former quarterback. There you go. Bam. So former actually does play.
Hey, buddy, you're here to pimp my high. Turn your hat around so the
Check
people
out my
can see
shirt.
the my high logo.
I'm not here to pimp my. I do it, but I'm only here to hang out with you guys. I've been doing sports talk radio for 6 years, bud.
Yeah,
you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just about that.
But you're also trying to sling that my high.
That's why I hadn't been here since when.
DrinkMyHigh.com. They continue.
I think it was during the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, shut it.
It was
I actually was here
weeks.
in August. I was here early August, right?
It's probably like 5. I think we're at 5 weeks.
I think I was talking to Lacey this morning. I think I only spent like 5 days at home in August.
What are you doing?
Traveling.
Doing what?
Slinging my high.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, where? Tell us all about it.
Hey, and then I was at last week. We were in Green Bay celebrating a couple of my buddies, my draft class brethren. Josh Sitton and Jordy Nelson got inducted to the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame.
Whoa, okay. Hell yeah.
It feels like a Hall of Fame that's pretty hard to get into.
Yeah,
that's a good. It's a good one. Like of all the individual team Hall of Fames, I would say the
it's up there.
Green and gold's pretty.
How's old Like, how does Jordy look now? Like I would imagine like he still looks the exact same.
Yeah, he does. Probably, I mean, like anybody else, probably not carrying quite as much muscle mass around, but like the dude's just a baller, man. I texted you about it, and I was like, that's probably one of the most underrated, under-talked about, just baller wide
Well,
receivers.
it's because right when he was achieving like godhood levels of play, then he blew out his knee in the preseason. And
yeah, but he was giving. I mean, he was showing incredible seasons before he started getting like the Pro Bowls and the All Pros.
Yeah,
like he was having incredible seasons.
He had just gotten the big contract, right? When he blew out his knee, he had finally gotten paid like a top receiver, and then at least he got it before he got hurt.
And then he got comeback player of the year after that.
Oh, really? I don't realize that. Okay, hell yeah, man. Shout out.
But I mean, he went to.
I feel like he's one of the reasons why we have 3 preseason games.
He went to maybe
because Rodgers was like so pissed afterwards. Like, what are we doing out here? Like, why are we even out here right now?
Yeah, which should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah,
for sure,
100%.
But yeah, he just went to the bottomless pit that eats people's souls and careers and spits them out. He went to Oakland.
Yeah,
damn, that's right. Forgot about that. It's an awful place.
Terrible.
I can't speak to Oakland as a whole, but
absolute
maybe,
worst.
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Hey,
what'd you think about the old tossing the pigskin this weekend? What'd you get into? You watch a little football?
I love football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the hell out of it.
Yeah. What'd you watch? Did you watch any game outside of LSU Florida State?
Yeah, I did. Actually,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if y'all know this.
I mean, I know you're a degenerate gambler.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Degenerate, he likes to dabble.
I dabble for sure. I like to look at the old spread every now and then.
I gamble.
I really enjoy it. So when I was playing in the NFL, I never watched college ball.
No.
Like I would watch
I didn't
LSU,
really either, yeah.
but LSU or college ball just wasn't fun to me to watch. And then for a couple of years afterwards, like it took me a while to get back into it.
Because you turn on the tape, you'd be like, if I could play in that game.
Well, it's just it should be so simple to just shred a defense in college.
Yeah.
There's people wide open everywhere. I'll just move your head around. They're just like if you watch the tape, they are open every play.
So are we talking specifically LSU here? What are we talking about?
No. Oh, no. I'm not talking about specifically LSU. I'm just talking about you just watch a whole slate.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
anyway.
It's like going to college.
But
and
now
watching a high school
I have
game.
the passion and the love back. So yeah, I watch college football the whole day. Yeah.
Okay, well, so give me Matt Flynn's current or former, depending on semantically where you fall. Give me Matt Flynn's current or former national championship winning quarterback takes on what stood out to you this weekend.
Oh Lord, there was a lot of real crappy games.
Yeah. Week 2 is going to serve up some more of the same.
Let's see. Colorado did great.
Yeah, what do you think about Shedeur Sanders? I like getting quarterback opinions on what they just witnessed out of Shedeur.
I was impressed by him. I wouldn't say surprised because I had no clue.
That's
I've
how it
never
was,
watched
yeah.
him play.
Had no idea.
I was just like, I had no clue what to base it on or anything.
He had put up like incredible numbers at Jackson State.
So,
Like 4,000
no
years,
clue about
like
that,
30-something touchdowns, single-digit picks. But
look, you throw for 500 yards in college football with a running clock, pretty good.
Yeah,
right.
I'd say so.
I don't know what y'all might have looked at the stats. What would the average offensive plays this year versus?
They were a little down.
It went down.
They had to have gone down
Yeah.
a little bit, right? But I love it.
It's better the problem is like I kind of like it, but then the broadcasts are the exact same link. So all they've done is replace that with more commercials. But that's whatever. That was always going to happen. And I mean, here on this show, that's how we make our money. So
yeah,
I can't really sit here and complain about it too much.
I enjoy it because I enjoy the hurry up and the 2-minute offenses in the NFL way better than I do college and the previous, just because of the running clock.
Well,
There's so
now
much more
though,
strategy.
but now the clock still does stop within 2 minutes.
Does it?
Yes. So
after
the
first
strategy,
down
after first down. So the strategy remains the same in terms of end of game for college.
Never mind.
See,
I still like
disagree
NFL
though.
better.
No, but I disagree though for the exact reasons you were kind of just talking about. Where in the NFL, guys are so good. If the clock stopped after first down, the game would never end. Right? Like teams would just keep getting first downs, they'd keep scoring, blah, blah. Like in college, because guys aren't as good and they don't see the wide open guys that you see around the field everywhere, like I kind of like the stop and clock. It gives teams more of a fighting chance of making things exciting in the end. In my opinion. I mean, do you agree? Like if you had a stop clock in the NFL, you could probably just dominate if you're the offense, or no?
There's just less strategy involved.
See, how is there less strategy though in terms of not just different strategy?
Just take it at face value.
There it is. Former, current national championship winning quarterback Matt Flynn. We're going to take it at face value. How sustainable is what you saw out of Shedeur Sanders? Fluky or not? He's going to be on Big Noon Saturday again this Saturday.
Throw 500 yards. I mean, that's kind of fluky. Whoever does it, whenever you do it. But what he did, the success he had. I mean, he was accurate. He made the right decisions. Now TCU can't cover. He was routes on air a lot.
So this is what's interesting to me though, because because I felt like Joe Burrow felt like he was almost throwing against the air a lot of times. So how much of that is them doing the exact thing you were just talking about? Just actually seeing the whole field the way that you can. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yes. Like getting to second, third,
well,
maybe even like
really good.
Fourth in the progression.
A lot of it's like schematically really good. Like they just ran good routes and they protected well. So he had time, right?
Yeah.
But you have to execute it. Just like, I mean, to your point, you have to execute the offense to be able to do it. So just because another team makes a mistake doesn't necessarily mean it's good for your team. You have to make them pay for it. But he also fit the ball into tight windows.
Yeah.
He played really well.
Yeah.
And he took advantage of the mistakes that TCU made. I don't expect TCU to continue to make those. They have a lot of good coaching tape, we'll say.
You think you could play 130 plays?
No.
In a Dallas Heat football game?
Sure don't. I don't think I can play.
Could you even play quarterback?
No.
In your peak physical condition, 130 plays.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Tyler, Texas, scrimmage, 130 plays playing.
Like if I got in
quarterback.
peak physical condition?
Yeah.
Quarterbacks don't do anything.
That's what I'm asking.
All you do is
That's-
sit there and throw
Like
it.
peak
They don't
physical
even hit.
condition for me is not that great. You know, it's average.
You actually look like you may be in your peak physical condition right
I'm
now.
not.
You're looking,
I'm
you're
not.
looking pretty good.
I think I'm like dealing with some tendonitis in both my knees. Like,
Exciting.
where's that come from?
Exciting, getting old.
Age.
I tried to work
Dying.
out and my knees hurt, so I stopped.
Every day, you just one step closer to death.
Oh, wow.
And that little redhead kid from Florida State is going to be haunting me every single step along the way. You can't spell LSU without the L.
Hey, you know what else? A little bit.
Chubby hand.
Is anybody else kind of like over Deion Sanders, like playing the poor me right now? Poor me card. He's doing it really heavy. Like a couple days.
I think it will be for the rest of this week.
It's good strategy, right? For
That's what
him
I'm
to
saying.
pump
I
up
think
his
he knows
guys.
exactly what he's doing. He knows
I
exactly
think
what
he does too, but it's just
I think at some
Deion
point,
is- sorry, go ahead.
you want it to flip to like that was the message, but now like we're here, like because he said it and it's like we're here, like we're the aggressor. I think you want that to flip sometime if they continue, like if they beat Nebraska and if they win another game, like that thing's got to flip. Like that was us, but trust me when I say, like, you know, be a little bit more aggressive.
Also, in a lot of ways, I feel like Deion's very much implanted himself like in the culture war, right? And so he's representing. He's in that fight now, and so yeah, I think.
I mean, I love Deion and I love what he's doing. I just thought it was funny that he was attacking every reporter.
Well, it's
Being
gonna
like,
be-
oh, he's a HBCU quarterback, huh?
It's going to be
Didn't
tough
think you
after
could do that?
this. It's going to be
I
tough
read it.
after this because that message will
I
ring
read that
hollow.
bull junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, kept the receipts.
Those messages will ring hollow though because now everybody spent a week straight just like loving on him and
Mhm.
talking about how incredible he
That's
is.
what I'm saying. It'll
yeah,
flip.
so you can't really use too much of that chip. I mean, you'll try to. Every team does.
You
right?
have to
Georgia-
try to. That's a
Georgia
coach's
said
job.
we're
A lot
going
for a
7-5.
team like that, you have that's a coach's job.
But I told y'all this when I was in LA for the Natty, every Georgia player felt like they were disrespecting. I'm like, how? How in the hell has Kirby sold this bill of goods to y'all? But they did.
Yeah.
This is on air, off the air. They're like, yeah, nobody's believing in us. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You won the national championship last year. You're about to win it this year. What? So I mean, some of that the coach can find a way to keep that
That's
message
how,
going.
That's how Aaron Rodgers was. Like even after Super Bowl, after MVPs, like he thought everybody was disrespecting him, and hating on him,
And he probably
Because-
used his draft night as
and he
fuel.
hated Pete Carroll because he didn't offer him a scholarship out of Butte Junior
I mean, some of those
It's
people,
like-
dude, they just it's so crazy.
I get
how
it.
It's the Jordan thing, right? Just find ways to find disrespect to stick in your mind and motivate you. All right.
What other games?
Listen,
Anybody?
I'll tell you one. Like
I'm gonna make you talk LSU when we get back.
so,
perfect.
Philip Rivers is kind of the same way that we're talking about. Like there was a camp in which Casey Clausen, it was a Notre Dame football camp, kind of big boyed him. Like he was trying to warm up, and he's like, "Hey, you want to play catch?" And Casey Clausen, I think, was like the big recruit there, and almost like you're not rated high enough to warm up with me. And like that is something that Philip kept with him, and like it drove him. Like he talked about it a decade later. Like things like that, like you find, like you're talking about with Aaron, like you find that one thing, and it's like Casey Clausen pissed Philip off enough, where like he's like, all right, well, I'm going to be better than he ever was, and certainly he was.
I mean, that's how some of the people find it, dude.
Gosh darn, Casey.
Get that competitive
No,
spirit.
golly, Casey.
I went and watched him coach high school football a couple of weeks ago. They got beat, but man, watching him on the sidelines was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Quite the antics he does.
Yeah, yes, he does.
When we get back here, we'll make Matt give you his take on FSU, LSU. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Cannaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those.
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank, and Nicholson. Scott Rabelais, Randy McKay, Wes Reynolds, all with us. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Make some miles between you and there. There's a hole in my head where the wind comes in. You took my body and played to win. Hi, hi, woman, crying shame. But you ain't got nobody else to blame. Evil woman. Evil woman.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Shout out My High, getting me right during Don Juan this weekend. Helping me feel good. Like everybody's like, T-Bob, you were just really drunk at like midnight last night yelling, smoking cigars. How are you here yelling Monday morning? My High. Shout out.
Isn't that the show? That's like what the show is, though,
What?
right? You getting drunk and yelling.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's normally it doesn't run Sunday straight into Monday, right? Normally I have that Sunday recovery day. But either way, I'm just saying the hydration provided by my friends at Mahi, specifically those delicious Mahi Zero flavors, which are what I enjoy most.
Yeah. Also good with
Got me
vodka.
right. Also what?
Good with vodka.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Is it like in high school?
Kind of like my
you
go-to.
gotta mix it with Powerade.
So like
it
when
gets into your blood.
I go out to a bar, like a lot of my travels is like to conferences and stuff, and like you're socializing with clients or customer, whatever it is, and I always bring like a fanny pack full of Mahi Zeros, and I just get like vodka sodas and just
Okay, I never tried it. I'll give it a shot sometime.
It's probably the best drink ever.
Yeah, I'm not biased at all.
Speaking in absolutes, huh?
Yeah. Objectively, it's the best drink.
All right, Matt.
Hey.
What'd you think about Sunday's game?
The LSU Tigers?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Specifically,
Didn't love it.
Yep, no one did. But specifically, we have to ask you about quarterback, obviously, right? Jaden Daniels, imagine this was the big inflection point of debate during and after the game. Who could have seen it coming?
Shocker.
How'd you feel
quarterback
about,
was a big talking point?
I know. How'd you feel about the offense?
It was. This one's tough, but because I thought in the first half they looked really good. They just didn't capitalize. I mean, you got to score in the red zone, right?
Yeah.
That is one of the metrics that, besides turnovers, red zone scoring percentage is one of the top metrics for win or lose.
Yeah, to me, it's like turnovers, third down, and red zone percentages.
Yeah. So what happens if you score? I mean, you can what if every game to death, right? But you have to score in the red zone, especially on the goal line. Not only do you take the points off the board, but what a freaking momentum shift it is in everybody's mentality on the other side and yours.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
I'm
you had
close
that game, you're like, oh my God, dude, LSU's so good. They're going to come out and go down the 1 yard line. And you're like, yes, it's all happening.
Right.
And then it all changed.
Yeah, and then in a game like that, when the other team's playing well on offense as well, it's like it comes down to a handful of plays here or there that you got to make or you don't make. And it's the difference of the game. And I'm talking about third down conversions, goal line conversions, things like that they made and we didn't make to keep drives alive and get points on the board. It was just one of those. And I think we all kind of knew it was going to be like that. I think Vegas knew it was going to be like that. I think the number was like 60-something going into the game. But you had to keep up. Each team had to keep up with the other team. And we just didn't do it. And then, of course, I saw a lot of the chatter about, I hadn't seen a LSU team give up or anything like that at the end of the game. I don't know if it was necessarily that. It's not normal to see an LSU team get bullied in the fourth quarter.
I think it's one of those deals, though, where it's like.
Did they give up? I can't say that. I have no idea.
It's like, sure, if you want to paint it as giving up, getting bullied, yes. But also, show me the tape of the team that's down 21 that's like, just going crazy. It's like celebrating, like, yeah! Like after you make a play. You're down 21. Like,
yeah, but you weren't down 21 till.
So are you saying that they did or didn't give up then?
I'm not saying they did or didn't. I don't know. I can't tell their effort.
You're saying then because it seems like you just tried to explain away the giving up.
It was a close game.
Just to now say they gave up.
Was it a closer game than 21 points?
I guess, yeah.
For 3 quarters.
I mean, I guess. I suppose you could say it that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought we were very equally matched in the first half. Even in the first half, I thought LSU probably still looked a little bit better.
Yeah, they had a lead despite having 2 fourth-down red zone opportunities blown.
Exactly. So, but you can have the lead and not look like the better team. I thought in the first half they looked like the better team. Right, both teams I thought were good. But look, Florida State's a good team, right?
They're great. They're very good.
So that is why people like. What are your thoughts? And oh my God, woe is me. Like how many wins are they going to be in? What bowl game? Man, they played an opening game, and they played against a really good team.
Yeah,
and a really good team that was fired up, and I thought executed really well for a first game of the season. And we didn't.
Very veteran team.
There was just a few things that we did.
Yeah.
So give us the biggest thing that you liked out of Jaden and the biggest thing that you want to see him improve on.
I'll say I was pretty vocal about it last year. I saw a lot of improvement from early season Jaden than I did from early season last year.
Yeah, that's true.
He just didn't like last year. I was very, not very. I'm never very critical of anybody, but I was kind of critical of a lot of the how he was playing early on. But he kind of picked up where he left off last year. I was hoping to see a little bit more, command of his accuracy a lot, but he made some really good throws. I can't take that away from him.
I mean, to me, his opening red zone possession between decisions and like that fade throw, that was where, and I think he got in a better flow after that for a bit. But I feel like that those first 6 plays in the red zone, he made a few errors.
Yeah,
didn't seem like he was on the same page with Malik Neighbors throughout the game. That's what something T-Bob and I talked about on Monday. That's somebody that you would assume he was because they have been in the past, but every time he threw the ball to Malik, like in the fade, he's like, hey, get some air on it. And then they had that sequence where they went to him a couple times in a row, and it's like,
oh, they're suited to this little thing.
As a quarterback, as you in general, knowing you hate when anybody does anything like that towards you, but they didn't seem like they were on the same page at all.
Yeah. And it's a hard one to really make a judgment on. But yeah, during the game, in this game, they did not seem like they were on the same page. I thought 80% of the time, I thought Jaden looked really good.
Yeah.
He went through his reads. He made good to pretty good throws. A couple times, I thought he played a little quick. But where he's different than he was early on last year is he's taken off. I feel like he's taken off running at the right time. Like there's no time I feel like he's taken off and trying to make a play with his feet that I'm like, no, stay there, stay there. Read it out. I'm not seeing that, so I'm hopeful, and I think that you can get on the same page. Again, it's first game, so it's like overreaction just to the max right now.
Well, and I mean, it's one of those things where like the dividing line is so thin. Again, we can play the what if game, but like, what if those balls aren't dropped on the 3rd and 8? And then at the end of the 3rd quarter, as a quarterback, what does it do to your heart to see those drops and the kind of the ensuing impact of them?
Oh, I mean, you want to punch the receiver, right? Honestly,
because we're sitting here just talking. I mean, Kyron Lacy we have talked about as well, but like Jaden is the one who bears the majority of that consequence.
Yeah, sure. Drops happen a lot, right? And they happen for Florida State. Florida State dropped a lot.
Yep, in the first half. Which again, why did their drives die? They had 2 or 3 drives die because of their own drops.
Exactly. So like when we talk about a game of a back and forth game between 2 pretty equally matched teams, opening game, it's who makes the plays and who doesn't. And the plays, the 3rd downs are a killer, and we didn't make them. And drops were part of it, and missed assignments, just all that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens, so it's hard to point to that, but it's hard to point to like just the drops. But those are like some of the most obvious things for fans and viewers to hang your hat on.
Well, it's just easy for an idiot like me to understand. Like I don't. It's going to be tougher to explain that. Well, actually, the play composition on 3rd down and design in Florida State was much better when I could see a guy like
sort out the
like
TE
I could just see it hit his hands and fall to the ground.
Right.
Well, what did you? Because when I watched this film, and I don't think, did you go back? I don't think you go back and watch film. Right?
I did not.
Okay, I didn't.
I probably would like to, but I don't really have a good source to. You showed me that thing last
year.
I know you and
Matt.
You hated the interface on that.
God, it was just terrible.
Well, you got to have a really good computer to make it work well.
Yeah,
otherwise
and it just takes 12 seconds to buffer. And I'm a rewind guy. I rewind like 45 times every play.
You got to have a really good computer or iPad to make that.
I'm sure you have one.
I need a cowboy remote.
I'm sure you have one.
I had one. I don't have one anymore.
Okay.
What about this though?
Amazon.
Done.
Because upon reviewing, when I watched kind of the FSU spread versus LSU's version of the spread, FSU's felt so much more dynamic and swirling, and guys are pulling all over the place and jet sweeps and all this sort of stuff, whereas LSU's felt a little more straight up, a little more just kind of you get what you see.
From a route concept perspective, it's hard to tell from TV coverage.
And I don't know route concepts. Like that is my weakest part of the game. Yeah. I don't really.
I will say from a run game perspective, I thought LSU was really vanilla.
Yeah, I agree. 1,000%.
what was it a couple of years ago? We were so frustrated with the offense because all they would do is run like hurry ups.
Hurry up,
inside
yeah.
zone right,
Because in
inside
19
zone
they did
left.
it. Yeah, they had 19, they did it and it worked.
Yeah. But then at 20, I can't remember, but I remember being up here frustrated because it wasn't working. But it just, the running game did seem a little vanilla, a little bit. Now, granted, if you're trying to run a hurry up, there's only so many different things you can do. But
well, yes, but like also, like Tennessee's a hurry up, and they still run power and counter and. Like,
yeah, you're right. I take it back. I was trying to defend them.
You got to find a way to get to those runs, and you have to be. It's a little unique how you run those because it's not out of 12 personnel or 21 personnel, but you can still run them. You can run them out of 11.
Yep.
But you have to find a way to get to that.
Like I think after the first couple drives, did anybody feel confident on a 3rd and 1 or a 3rd and goal?
No.
No.
Like I didn't.
No.
Not at all.
No. What do you think about the 4th and 1 play call? I was talking to my old man about this. Actually, why don't we do this? We'll go to break.
Yeah, I got to pull it up. I'm going to show it to him so you can see the route
and then
concept.
I want you to, break it down. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
So Matt missed the show to hang out with a couple of all-star football players. Ended up making that Packers Hall of Fame. If you want to make the local car ownership Hall of Fame, you want to go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com is the website. On that website, you can explore the incredible deals and savings that you can get from All-Star. Remember, if you're a veteran, a student, recent graduate, they always got great deals going down for you. You can look at the selection they have online. You can customize and order right there from the website with All-Star Express. Or you schedule service, whatever. The website's a great resource. But you can always just go see them off an airline highway, right? Because the people are where the real difference lies. And that's at every level, whether it is in the service department or the sales department. The people at All-Star are going to look out for your best interest. So you need your next vehicle. You need your next Toyota. You want All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Cannaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
Wazan inviting you to join me, Coach Todd Black, and Coach Jimmy Roy for the next edition of Louisiana Prep Weekly. Live from Walk-Ons in Zachary as we welcome in Coach Devin Ducote and the West Feliciana Saints. Louisiana Prep Weekly, Wednesday nights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So we spent that last break, Matt, breaking down the 4th and 1 call for LSU on the goal line. Their 6th red zone play. I think there was 6 plays inside the 5 to come away with nothing. Good or bad call on the 4th and 1?
Good or bad call? I could think of other calls that might have been better. However, we just broke it down, and the route concept they ran is what you never know what the coaching points are on the install. So if it is what I think it is, I think it's actually still a pretty decent call.
Okay.
It just wasn't executed very well by the receivers.
There you go.
Specifically, was that Mason? Who did it?
Mason Taylor's 86. Yeah.
Specifically, Mason. He did get drugged down. It should have been a defensive holding. He did get drugged down to the ground by the left arm.
They got pretty physical with both guys. Yeah. You see Malik run up there, and he got stonewalled about 5 yards into the end zone.
Yeah. But basically, they run stack coverages on either side. That's 2x2 set stack coverages. And their stack coverages creates challenges for the defense on how they're going to sort it out. There's different ways to do it. So you got in man coverage, if you got a stacked receiver, so that's one on the line and one like basically directly behind them.
Yeah.
They have to figure out who's going to have who. And basically you can either say one DB takes the point guy and then the other takes the other, or what they did in this one is in and out. So basically they sandwich the stack. There's one on the left of the stack, one to the right of the stack, and they face in. The guy on the outside takes the first guy to outside release, whether that's the point guy or the guy behind. The inside guy, of course, would take the inside guy. So there's no confusion about who has who. Now, a way to beat that, or the way to beat that, is basically to send your receivers in the same direction. So you send the first guy out, and then the second guy goes out as well.
Because he should have a step on.
Because he has leverage. He's got inside leverage, and that's how you beat it. So that is what I feel they schemed it up. Now, they could have run 2 option routes on either side, which would have been a bad call, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Say they were sending them both out. They just executed it wrong, whether it was a coaching point or whether if you're going to do that versus in and out stack coverage, you have to beat your guy you're trying to throw it to is a second guy breaking out. You have to beat it with speed.
No wasted motion inside.
No wasted motion because you have leverage on them. You never want to. It's kind of a misconception in man-to-man that like you want to get up to him and stutter him and like juke him and break him off. No, if you got leverage, you want to beat him with speed. So what he did is he kind of he inside released to get closer to the guy, and then stutter stepped him, and then tried to break left. And he still had him a little bit, and the guy did drag him down. But if he just releases straight up the field, so basically follows the first outside guy and breaks it with speed, he's going to be open by 2 yards. So I think it was conceptually it was okay. And then we were talking about the pass protection as well. They had both their backers on the edge and a mic in the middle. And it looks like the backers were kind of reading what the running back was going to do to decide who was going to blitz or who's going to come.
Yeah.
We went Mike left, sent the guys left, which is probably, I think we said, it's probably the chalk answer. Go Mike left, let the running back take the mic.
It's
it
definitely
ends
the
up,
easy college, like these are our rules, and that's
Right.
where the mic is.
And he's on the line, and so
Yeah.
he's most dangerous
Yeah.
and all
Yeah,
that.
if you get to a little bit further down and you coach a little bit, and like during the season, you might see a little bit different change because, hey, Jaden, we got the in and out look we want on the left side. Let's not send 3 linemen to the left and clog up your view, especially on the goal line where things happen so quick. Let's go Mike middle. Let's take care of the A and B gaps with our linemen, and on the red zone like this, if they want to come off the edge, fine.
As a quarterback, you want to be empowered to make that call, right? Like the center's not going to make that mic change.
No.
Like the quarterback has to make it, and then so he's aware of, okay, I know if I get pressure that I know where it's coming from.
We know that Matt's not going to allow the center to do that.
I'm just saying that's in the future if he were
I
to
can't-
develop this.
If
that
I
is
can't change
Jaden-
that mic call, I'm transferring. Bro.
that is Jaden leading that charge. What are you talking about? Did you and Brett used to argue about this or something? Did y'all used to get into
Call him
it?
up. Can we get him on the line?
Over who was making the right mic call? So
and then a play just like we talked about, T, on Monday, the running backs are inviting pressure as well because Matt pointed it out. I mean, this is a green dog by the linebacker, and he's not coming. I mean, he's initially flat-footed, and then he sees that you're kind of staying in the A-gap, so he adds himself into the rush, and then you do which I hate. I hate backs cutting in the A-gap. I just do. I think it can go wrong 1,000 different ways.
Yeah,
so you throw it.
Because it was a good
It can
cut
go.
block.
It can go wrong either way, though. Like,
Yeah.
I saw it. A guy got bull rushed in the A gap, like sacked with the running back's back this past weekend. Can't remember what game it was.
I just like going even like it's a little bit of a foobar because I like going outside in on that because if you go too far inside like you would on a normal pass protection, you're almost always going to get the swim move and you're always going to look foolish.
Yep.
I like going outside shoulder and pressing him down into the 3 guys that are blocking and just kind of muddy it all up. But if you cut in the A-gap, man, you got to get him.
Man, if you're gonna
down,
do
down.
it too, like if you know the mic call was left, which it obviously was.
Yeah.
Like don't sit back and wait. If you're gonna protect, step up so he doesn't get a 5-yard running start.
Yeah.
Like step up into the A gap.
Yeah.
Like when you randomly told Jake to line up closer against Auburn, didn't you? When how the old story goes?
We were in I formation, so Sean Jordan would have been at 5. I'd have been at 7.5. But this guy, for the one time in his career, was smart, and he saw what Muschamp was going to do. He giggled to himself because he couldn't believe Muschamp was going to run what he was going to run. And then he put us in split backs, which, again, like we –
Did you even have it in the
not that I know
playbook?
of.
That wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing. And he's like, hey, y'all split right here. And so that way my heels were at 5 and not 7.5, and it gave me the opportunity to meet the guy in the A-gap.
Interesting.
They gave me a lot of credit there, but I think we all kind of did that. I think we all kind of got you in split.
Oh man, what was the final point?
It's actually a bad looking formation because we didn't like really have it.
That was
in.
terrible. Yeah.
It's like I think Sean's in a 3-point stance. I think in split backs, and I'm standing in a 2-point. But hey, it worked out.
I think the moral of the story was I didn't hate the play call.
Yeah, for sure,
it should have and could have worked.
Yes.
Could you have drawn up a better play? Maybe. Yeah. I think every coach would say, I should have.
I still would have liked to have the back out on a route, but that goes
Yes,
to one
and
of
he
my.
should have been.
So that goes to
think-
my other biggest complaint about anything design or philosophy related is it is so painfully clear on film how much better Jaden is with 5-man protection. Like even if the protection's not better, everything's just more free because they kept doing this thing where they're holding 6 in, sometimes even 7, and guys are just hanging out airplane arming, and so they're basically adding 2 either like zone dog blitzers or just 2 spies.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you have a guy who has a tight end, you have a guy who has a running back,
Like-
and they have nothing to do except for stand there and watch Jaden.
Yeah, like that one was a green dog blitz, and a green dog blitz is if a linebacker has the running back in man-to-man and the running back blocks, he just blitzes.
Yes,
That's a green dog, right? That receiver had a route on that play, 100%. Now he was protection first. He was part of the protection. When you get that look with a 7, like we called it 79. So with the Will and the Sam like on the ball and the Mike behind man-to-man like that, he was probably like scanning so much and was just like, I'm just gonna. I have a route, and it was probably over the ball route. What it is, or a little option route.
Little angle.
Like if you want him to get out in that situation, you probably got to scat him, because he's thinking heavy protection right there. I mean, he's got all 3 linebackers, and things happen in a game too, especially fourth down at a loud stadium, he might not have heard the mic call.
Right.
He might have been like looking all the way left to right.
And so what Matt's talking about, like if they went Mike left, they've got the 4 down and then the Mike left, and then Josh Williams, who I think is the back here, he technically would have everyone else, but he has to know by alignment that no one that's out there on a stack receiver is coming. Like he has to eliminate them.
So he's got the Mike and Will.
Yeah, you completely eliminate them. So it turns itself into a scat protection because by alignment you have to go Mike, Will. And it turns into that one-side protection. But college players, a lot of time, they are patrolling the area looking for anybody that can come. When, if you get a better understanding of it, you realize that if either one of those guys came for whatever reason, one, it's unsound defense, and two, you'll have a guy wide open. You have to eliminate them pre-snap.
Yeah.
And look, he could have gone like that. Will he can? There's nothing that says he can't come right there.
Oh, for sure.
Same with the Sam.
Yeah. They're sliding to the. Right.
It's one of those guys. This is a good defense because one of the if the back scats and flares to the right, the Mike's going to come.
Yep.
If the back free releases up the middle, the Will probably come. Now he'll be really late.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good defense. But we're just saying that he probably did have a route.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. You're not gonna.
If they kept him in, that's bad.
That's just bad. That's bad ball. Like that. You're not gonna do on paper a 6-man protection with those routes with like no back that has the potential to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You want him to protect first, but that doesn't mean he has a route. So he was just scanning. He was scanned too long. Like Jake said, like if you get a better familiarity with it, more coaching. This is a good coaching tape right here to coach off of. Like, hey, I see you scanning, but look at the body language of the Will.
Right.
Right. You know the Mike's got you. Just release and make him cover you.
Yeah. Great technical breakdown there from our
cool
Flestering boys.
Well, in radio.
In the future, and it works for radio, but in the future we'll work on somehow having the play up on screen maybe to break down. All right, when we get back, we'll close out this Flestering hour.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. The LSU football team's going to look to bounce back and get it done. And they can do it with a lot of members of the G team. If you want to join the G team, some of your favorite athletes on said G team, you go to getgordon.com. You can find them on social media at getgordon. You can put in your area code and then 888-8888. Gordon McKernan, injury attorney, is going to fight for you. So you get in an accident, you already know to get in touch with it. You want to get Gordon.
GetGordon.com is the website, and you can go check out past client results. You can check out cases they can handle for you, right? You can go check out all that information on the website at GetGordon.com. And we always tell you, like, anything you got going on right now, there's always a live chat that's going to pop up, free consultation on the website as well. All social media, the handle is at GetGordon, so all major social media, x.com if that's what we're doing now, Instagram, Facebook, area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is #1, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. It's a What If Wednesday. We'll talk with J.D. Bickell of On3 Sports and the inaugural SEC Football Power Rankings. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
The city streets are empty now. The lights don't shine no more. And so the songs are way down low.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Closing up this hour of flestering. Overall, still, some people are like, what if we're just not that good? Blah, blah. Look, I don't think anything I saw Saturday tells me that you're not a good team. Maybe you're not championship caliber, is all I'd say. But I still think you're going to be a good top 25, maybe top 15. If you go 9-3, make a New Year's Six bowl game potentially by the end of the year. Like I think that's the level that I'm probably feeling coming out of week 1.
I think in
the offensive line.
In my tier system, right? I thought they could potentially be in that top tier. Now they're just a tier below.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, there's teams certainly that I would have, and I want to see what it looks like down the road, like in 4 weeks. I want to see if you fought your way back to being anywhere close to that top tier, or if you fell another tier down.
It's week 1. I wouldn't be shocked if the season went either way, but I would expect it to go. Were we all happy last year?
No.
At the end of the year?
Yeah, I was beating Alabama, winning 10 games. Absolutely.
Or do you think we're better or worse than last year?
I thought you meant like after the week 1. I was like, no, it was awful.
Yeah, that was a
terrible
No,
feeling.
I think
It was worse, probably last year.
Yes.
I think you're very clearly better. I mean, I emerge out of this game. That's a damn good defensive line that the offensive line protected pretty well against all night.
I mean, I know y'all did too, but I got 1,000 questions like leading up to the season. How do you think the LSU team's going to be? Or how excited are you? I'm like, well, it depends on what your metric is.
Yeah.
Is your metric playoff or bust? Or is it 10 wins, 11 wins? I still think they can get 10 wins.
Yeah, I think the problem was this year it had reached playoff or bust
Probably,
expectation level.
Fair or unfair, it was.
I mean, you got
want
Colin
that.
Coward choosing to win a natty.
Yeah.
You got other people talking about how, like, this is, like, they're big. Actually, this may be LSU's year. Everything's lining up. And it made sense on paper. But, that's why you have to play the games. And
got to play the games.
Jordan Travis and Florida State looked more complete than LSU did.
And to be clear,
on paper, we kind of knew that.
I love scheduling a hard team first, by the way.
I do, too. Get out of here with all this, let's play a bad team first.
Yeah, get out of here with that.
Don't be scared.
That's just the loser's limp right there.
Exactly. If you can't beat the good, if you can't beat the good team anyway, well, then you were never going to be championship caliber to be.
Yeah, because they sure looked ready Now, one thing that
Yeah,
stood out to
exactly,
me
right.
in week one, the teams, like on the experience chart, and this is ranked in the country, that had a big week one. Florida State, number 2. We talked about it. Duke, number 3 overall.
Yeah.
North Carolina, number 6 overall.
I mean, Michigan looked great. People aren't going to recognize
They were
that 'cause
7th
of their-
overall.
Yeah, I know.
In
That's why I
returning
bring it up.
production. Central Florida, 9th overall. Northern Illinois, who beat Boston College, 19th. Wyoming, who beat Texas Tech, 21st overall, man. Production and returning and veteran players, it is right now as important as it's ever been in college football because of all the movement,
More
all
so,
the new,
yeah.
and all these places, man. When you've got an old veteran team, and Florida State is that goes a long way.
And if you got some pillars of like leadership on your team.
LSU's
that's,
49th, by the way. LSU's 49th. 49th in returning production.
Just one under 50.
That's what it is.
Got it.
That is generally where 49 falls, yeah.
At
I'm
times.
making sure we're on the same page.
DrinkMyHigh.com.
Go Tigers.
DrinkMyHigh.com. Go get it at your local store, DrinkMyHigh.com. Drink My High.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Agatim Baton Rouge, AgatimBR.com. So My High is going to keep you hydrated, but Agatim's going to keep you Kool-Aided with air conditioning. They're going to keep you cold, okay, until they need to keep you warm.
You always like the Kool-Aid, man.
Eventually, I hope that you need to turn on your heater. I mean, you probably haven't done it in, what, I don't know, 8 months, 9 months, whatever the case may be. You should probably do a little checkup. Okay, make sure you're good to go. And that's where Agatim of Baton Rouge comes into town. You can ask about the Star Club membership while you're there. You're going to experience that customer service firsthand. And if you haven't, you'll be like, oh my God, T-Bob, you were right this entire time. Thank you. But it's because I study the internet, and the internet loves Agatim. AgatimBR.com, Agatim Baton Rouge.
Yes, they do, and they hate everything, but they love Accutemp, and you will as well. And when they're going to come out to your house and service your house, you're going to know exactly who's coming to your home. You're going to get a picture, a profile, a little bit about that person. I mean, they cover it from every single angle. AccutempBR.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front to back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front to back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Wednesday, September 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 98. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. And you can follow the rest of today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Tim, Jake, Mark Taylor going to have you today. Fun hour flustering. Right now, I want to look forward to week 2 of college football. Probably, with the return of the NFL tomorrow, I think we'll really dive into NFL more tomorrow. We'll talk a lot of Saints Titans. We do have some Dennis Allen sound, I guess we could play, but I don't know. I don't think of any of it's particularly interesting. But yeah, if you're, I guess what I'm saying is if you're here looking for Saints talk, I don't know if we're going to have a ton of it today. I would say tomorrow's going to be the day as, who plays tomorrow? Chiefs, Lions?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, NFL season kicking off. Big
Fighting the
opportunity.
kneecaps, baby.
Big opportunity for Goff
that
and company.
game just got a lot bigger. Travis Kelce may not play in that game.
Yeah.
He hurt his hamstring the other day, and it sucks because that's a Thursday night game. If it was Sunday, he'd have 2 or 3 more days to recover, but I mean, you got to come back on 2 days rest.
Doesn't matter with the Fighting Dan Campbell's. Too gritty to be pretty, baby.
Who drafted Kelce? You know the Nunez's?
I think because they were on auto draft.
Yeah.
To start the draft, and Kelce was like 5th overall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So I was telling you guys, I did 2 drafts at the same time last night.
Oh wow.
The other draft I was in, the guy was on auto as well. Took Kelce in the first round, Cup in the second.
Ooh. Cup's having to go see a hamstring specialist.
Tough break.
Never want to hear that.
Yeah. Very good. I drafted Cup. So, there you go. What are you going to do? I've officially, though, reached Galaxy Brain fantasy level where I know if you want to win championships, you got to zig when everyone zags. Therefore, I have the quarterback combination of Dak Prescott and Anthony Richardson. That's right, boys. Get ready to suffer at my feet this fantasy football season.
I mean, I took Joey B and then Derek Carr, and that's 2 drafts, 2 Derek Carr picks. So, look, I'm the only person in the room champion for Derek Carr now. Where are we at?
I have Carr in my other league.
He's a QB2 in one of my leagues, too, yeah.
Okay, see, this is the problem. This is why you got to have one fantasy team. Now, I have this in my other league. I have this in my other league.
I have 3. I have 3.
We can't allow any. I don't care. Like no one cares about our fantasy teams to begin with. It's maybe barely interesting because it's everybody involved in the show.
I don't know,
it's
man.
Us 4,
I'm with
it's
you.
Megan. It's Caroline Fenton. It's Devin Snow. So we got Mayo in there.
We got even young Danny.
Daniel's in there, and then it's Flynn, right? So it is like an OTB Universe League.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, I give less than a damn. You will have your mic muted for an entire day if I hear another sentence about any player that you have in another league.
Wow.
I mean, do you agree or
yes,
disagree?
wholeheartedly.
Like it does nothing for me. There is maybe a slightest bit of interest because this is an OTB Universe League, and so people can somewhat appreciate the stakes.
Yes.
I don't care who your RB3 is on your league with your high school friends. In fact, it actively makes me angry.
It does. Hey, things that make T-Bob angry. The list is not very long. He is not an angry human. talking about your fantasy team, and I kind of agree with him. The second thing, don't take deep breaths. Do not have a heavy sigh.
I don't like a sigh.
He hates a heavy sigh.
I don't like a sigh. It brings the whole morale
And-
down.
and don't
it's
touch-
like Butch Jones talks about you're an energy vampire
Yeah.
when you heavy sigh.
Yes, he hates that, and don't touch his head.
No, don't tousle hair. I'm not a child.
Now, you don't like,
You don't touch heads in general, but I mean, why else are you touching somebody's head unless you're tousling their hair? If you're just touching heads, that's just weird.
we were meeting with a client one time, and T-Bob was sitting down at the restaurant, and he was facing the wall, and I'm walking in, and I just gave him a tap on the back of the head, like, what's up, T? And then I could see his fist, like, clench, ready to come out of the chair. So that's
Like
the
the
3
Arthur
rules.
meme.
That's the 3 rules to T-Bob A Bear.
Well, also, like, it just cheapens the whole thing. Like, it's,
It does.
I have
I agree.
Derek Carr in my other league. That's not the point. The point is Jake saying in our league, he has Derek Carr. That's kind of interesting because he's been the Derek Carr doubter. I have Dak Prescott. Arguably, maybe a tiny bit interesting because I hate the Cowboys and I make fun of you all the time for hating Dak Prescott. Yet now I'm cheering for him, right? So there is something kind of there. I don't give a damn about you having Derek Carr in your other league. So both of y'all shut up.
You just spent 4 minutes letting us know. Thank you.
Good. I want to make sure. You know what LSU's coaches didn't do a good enough job of? Making their players understand the expectation. I want everybody to understand the game plan and expectation of the only reason why we did this league.
So we can have a competitive edge just in our league.
Yes, exactly.
Not-
Yes. Or, no, you can have a competitive edge if you ever want. I only care about you showing the competitive edge in this one. I want to hear nothing else but the other league.
I'm going to beat the heck out of Caroline Fenton week 1. How
So
about that?
it's funny. Yes, there we go, right? People can appreciate that. You and Caroline, we're going to talk to her Monday, and one of y'all will be on the edge of winning week 1 at that point.
Yeah, I've got Taylor in week 1.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay,
Livingston
dude.
Perry. Look at that.
For what it's worth, the league projections, and this would always cracks me up because this is how it goes a lot of times because it's auto draft. And so by definition, auto draft drafts the top players at each any given time, right? Team Nunez, despite being on auto draft for 30 minutes last night, Megan making money and coming out on top first overall. I don't know how this happened, Jake.
Yeah.
Your team was ranked second and then somewhere along the line dropped to 7th?
I know. I was like, wait a minute. I thought I drafted pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm projected to beat Taylor.
Rivers Huey, Team Huey, Rivers and Kevin moved into second. Mario third. We have Caroline fourth. Who's Squeaky Gridiron?
That is Dev. Right?
Okay, Mayo fifth. Is Vice City Danny?
Yep, of course it is.
Danny sixth. And then Jake now seventh. As we said, Matt Flynn, RIP Lance Harbor at 8. Team Sharp at 9. And Taylor, I feel like you have the most fantasy pride amongst the group. That's got to hurt. And then,
Well, I mean, who makes these projections, T-Bob? That's the question I want to know.
The computers.
Yeah.
Analytics,
What do they
man.
know?
You know,
AI, man.
Arguably quite a bit.
Yeah.
Taylor,
Kind of rule our everyday existence. You know,
taking over the world.
Everything in your life is basically dictated by computers and their analytical prediction models. But yeah, Taylor's 9th, and then I'm 10th, which I agree with you, dude. I mean,
I'm not finishing 9th.
Dude, I agree. Like, they obviously don't know about Anthony Richardson and Dak Prescott. How could you if you're a computer? Like, you can't understand what Anthony Richardson's about to do to this league. Okay? So I'm with you, man. Me and you. Back against the wall. F these robots. Okay? We're humans. We got heart, blood pumping through my veins. Okay? Robots can't achieve an erection, can they? No, they can't. That's where we win. Think about it, Taylor. Let's go, baby.
Are you sure about that? Modern AI?
Yeah, they probably could, actually. And in fact, in another advantage over human beings, they would maintain one literally to the millisecond, like as long as they want.
Sounded like experience in Mario there. He's like, oh, are you sure about that?
I've seen AI. Is AI the movie with Jude Law where he's the male robot prostitute?
I thought we were talking Allen Iverson.
Yeah, me too. I miss the days when that's what AI stood for.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, no, I mean, this was around the same AI time. This was AI, the movie with, not Robin Williams, that was Bicentennial Man. Whatever. I don't even know what we're talking about. Congrats to everybody, though. Looking forward to somewhat seeing how this league develops. I think, do I have Team Nunez week 1? I don't know. Is it a little, yeah, I do. Okay, so the first, this is a bit like Chiefs Browns a little bit here.
No,
right?
you're the FCS school right now.
Yes, I am the cupcake. Okay,
Yeah.
but guess what? They don't know I'm really Northern Illinois.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
They're about to pay me to come whoop that ass, Alex.
Yeah, you got real Fresno State energy right now.
Hell yeah, dude. What, you all about Fresno State now?
They beat Purdue.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying Derek
Carr.
Yeah. You just all about Fresno State?
Well, you know, my Fresno State quarterbacks are Billy Volek, Lane Kiffin, then Derek Carr, and David Carr.
Yeah.
And Jake Hayner. Wow, a lot of Fresno State.
A lot of Fresno boys. We're a bunch of Bulldogs over here.
Whoa.
All right, that's enough of that. There you go. An entire fantasy segment. Who would have thunk it? Unbelievable. Taylor, give us Fantasy Minute. Who's going to be the best fantasy performer this weekend?
This weekend?
Start or sit. Yeah, go.
Christian McCaffrey.
There you go. Draft him, guys. Okay, you're only going to get that level of fantasy analysis here and off.
Hi, who took Juwan Johnson, by the way?
That was me.
I
Later
should have
rounds.
known you did it.
Tight end, too. I got Njoku.
He also took Olave. I knew he was going to.
I had Juwan Johnson, like, I knew he was going to be at the very end. I'm like, he's going to be my tight end, too. And then he went. I was like, I bet that was Mario.
Also, you're going to come up with team names.
Yeah, I'm Joey and the Jets.
Not you.
I already have mine. I changed it this morning.
I'm about to change mine right now.
Mine, CDs, TDs.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Does have CD Lamb?
Okay, we're very well done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very well
See,
done.
I took Justin Jefferson with the #1 pick, and I'm like, it's got to be a playoff Benny and the Jets. Then I had Burrow at quarterback, and so I went with Joey and the Jets.
Okay. Yeah, no, it checks out. Good job.
You're just chess man.
This chess man wins.
No, I don't know, man. I was thinking like, okay, low man wins, chess man wins. It's not. I was gonna do show me your chess, but that felt a little crass. So I don't know, dude.
And we're talking about the game chess.
I mean,
Not-
but like in that whatever. I don't know. Fantasy names that I've had in the past. One was just Han Solo Chewbacca. I'm not very good at fantasy names, obviously. Like CDs, TDs is great.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
can't.
Well
I
done,
can't.
Taylor.
I can't
Well
get. I just
done.
not. I don't know.
I just changed mine to Olave Garden.
Okay, there we go. Okay, not bad.
Olive Garden.
All right, here we go. Whatever. Let's preview week 2 of college football next here on OTB.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up and down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Cannaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Moscona inviting to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Russ Mitchell joins us, talk a little SEC football. We head up to Nashville to check in on the Tennessee Titans before they head to the Dome. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Previewing a little week 2 of the CFB as, it kicks off tomorrow. Thursday game, nothing to write home about this week. Jake's a little more bullish on the overall slate than I am. I'm a little upset coming out of week 2 that we're still not just getting more just good P5 on P5 matchups. But as you'll see, there are sneaky good matchups throughout. And I would say Friday night at 7:30, Jake, is when I got my first sneaky good here. And I think I did all the correct adjustments of times here, so I apologize if maybe it's actually 6:30. But Illinois at Kansas is pretty good. Brett Bielema, close game. Week 1 for Illinois.
Top 10 returning production.
Oh, there you go. 30-28. Illinois escapes with a dub. They're going to go on the road to Kansas. Kansas, one of the more feel-good stories last year with Lance Leipold and Jalen Daniels getting that thing going. Now, Jalen Daniels missed game 1. The backup Bean, who was also really good last year, played great. But Jalen Daniels expected to play in this game.
Got hurt apparently doing a Frosted Flakes commercial.
What the world? What? Is that our first NIL injury?
Apparently, he got a tight back because he was doing something in a Frosted Flakes commercial in an NIL deal, and that's why he missed the first game.
What could he have done in this commercial?
I don't know.
It's Frosted Flakes.
It was tightness in his back.
No, but remember, Frosted Flakes has always tried to paint themselves as a
they used to have
somewhat
the
healthy
kid kicking
athletic
the soccer
cereal.
ball and all that,
It's always sports-based.
Even though it's incredibly sugary.
I heard actually that when Leipold heard about it, he said, "That's not great." Not great.
I got you. Kansas, by the way, while we're here.
I think Kansas is going to win. I think Kansas is going to
the
win.
most returning production of any team in college football.
I love Kansas. I think Kansas is going to win. I think Leipold is a great coach in the same way that Kalen DeBoer is. He's won championships on the lower levels of football. I think that matters. I like Kansas here.
Yeah, not a good spot for Burt.
No.
I think Kansas is in a good spot to have it. This will mean something to Kansas, like this game will.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they will certainly
It'll be
show
a Big Ten
up.
team. A good Big Ten team.
Yeah, so I think Kansas in this one as well. It's a sneaky good matchup that's going to be hard hitting as well.
Ask the bench. Top 3 cereals, no order. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We can all agree on.
Yep. Fruity Pebbles is going to be in that rotation somewhere for me.
I love Fruity Pebbles. I'd have to think if it cracks my top 3. But then I'm kind of boring. I mean, I will always put Honey Bunches of Oats in my top 3. It's not, guys, it's not healthy. So you don't even play those games. It's like, people act like it's like a healthy
If your cereal doesn't have a cartoon character on it, by God, I don't want
everything
it.
else. I think they don't have a cartoon.
Yeah, mine's pretty different. I got Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, and Choco Frosted Flakes.
I'd be cool with Frosted Flakes being
So
in
good.
there.
Choco Frosted
Yes,
Flakes.
that's what they're called.
What a deep cut.
Yes.
Fruit Loops are mid. I'm actually probably
Yeah.
going Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted Flakes, and I just had it.
Corn Pops.
No,
Honeycombs,
Cap'n
Lucky
Crunch.
Charms.
OG Cap'n
Oh,
Crunch.
yeah. The roof of your mouth.
Yep, love it.
Screwed, but
Love it.
great. Yeah.
Okay, so then that's Friday night's game. Again, nothing right home about Thursday, but that's fine. We'll be watching Chiefs Lions anyway. Then we got Friday. And then on Saturday, a sneaky good 10 a.m. kickoff here, boys. I don't know why it's at 10. Do you, Jake? Vandy at Wake Forest.
No, I don't know
Not
why.
11.
Yeah, you would think being on the East Coast, it would be a noon game, 11. I'm not sure why they moved this one up an hour.
So Vandy at Wake Forest, don't know that anybody's going to, I don't know.
If you got Vandy over 3.5, you will pay attention to
True.
this one.
Very true. At 11 a.m., one of my favorite games of the day, Notre Dame at NC State. Again, Notre Dame, one of the big winners the first couple of weeks college football. They look really damn good. Sam Hartman looks complete, but this will be easily the biggest test they've faced so far.
Yeah, when you look at NC State, Brendan Armstrong coming over from UVA, he got back to his old ways, had almost 100 yards rushing against UConn last week. UConn, that team, Jim Moore Jr. has that team playing incredibly hard.
Yeah.
But NC State goes on the road, beats them by 10, 24-14, I believe was the final score there. And Brendan Armstrong is one of those quarterbacks. Now, he can lose you a game, but when he gets hot, he can go win you a game by himself as well. This is a real matchup for Notre Dame, a tough place to play.
In that 11 a.m. slot, you also got Utah at Baylor. Again,
Lost his juice, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Baylor doesn't appear to be any good, and Utah appears to be one of the top teams in the entire country. So Utah should roll, but this is one of the few like Power 5 on Power 5 matchups that we have.
Yeah, Blake Shapen going to be out at quarterback for Baylor multiple weeks, and so Utah, if they can handle 1, success of beating Florida, 2, going down to Waco, handling the elements of the heat, they should be fine. They're the better team. Baylor's without their quarterback. Baylor had no life against Texas State. I mean, you talk about disappointing at all levels, both sides of the football. So this should be not an easy win, but it should be pretty comfortable for Utah.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, I agree. And then we get my guys, the Corn Hub. For the second week in a row, Colorado's going to be on the big noon kickoff. This time they're going to be at home. Nebraska at Colorado. Old school rivalry, you know, from back in the day. Haven't played much recently as they both went their separate ways. Dion apparently trying to invoke the rivalry in his players, saying, quote, Colorado, we don't like Nebraska. Simple. That's just what it is. I think Shedeur actually maybe said that. But they've been really trying to, like, hype this thing up. Here's what's interesting. Have y'all noticed the takes on Dion? Have you seen the natural progression of things and the rhythm that this stuff always hits where everybody's blown away, it's praise, 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 and then there's too much praise, and then you have people who come out and they're like, well, hold on now, let's pump the brakes. You're starting to see that turn here, and that's why this game's going to be so important for Colorado. Like, if Colorado goes out and handles business and wins this game, well, then all of a sudden they're completely validated. If they go out, though, and they somehow lose this game, not only is that massive for Matt Rule and company, a real golden opportunity for Matt Rule here early on, but then the same, like, it's the rubber band effect, right? So much praise was created from week 1. If Colorado falls flat, it's going to be so much more bad talk than it would have been had they just started 0-2.
Yeah. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have you have people out there, and gosh, it must suck to live this way, but you have people that are just waiting to pounce.
Yeah.
Like just waiting for them to not be successful and to root against them and to hope that they lose a game like this. And so like winning the way you did, and look, being boastful about it because you did keep the receipts. And as someone who's a former 2-star recruit, I can certainly appreciate that because I like to keep receipts. There's people that are waiting for you to lose a game like this. But if you go out there and you win it, I hope the narrative flips. I hope inside that building they start to have a different approach, because I'd love to see them with an alpha mentality. Not that they don't have one right now, but that be the focus.
Yeah.
Right? Not maybe necessarily looking back, but now you're like, oh, we got something real here. Like if we hone in this focus and we become the aggressor and continue down this path, who's to say we can't start Pac-12 play, which tough. Oregon, USC back-to-back. We can't go win one of those games.
And again, I don't know how Nebraska has the firepower to keep up here. I'm gonna be very interested to see that Colorado O-line, how they hold up against what I think is a better D-line than what TCU was bringing to bear. But I just, as much as I love the toughness that Rule's trying to instill, and Jeff Sims, Jake, I don't know that after what I saw out of Sims, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep pace with Shedeur and company.
Exactly. I don't know that he can go down and go score for score, because TCU could. TCU still had weapons.
Yeah.
TCU's receivers, backs, and even Chandler Morris, like they had the ability to go do that. I don't see Nebraska having that same ability. So if it becomes another shootout, that certainly favors Colorado.
And so I think Colorado, and they're at home.
And Folsom Field is going to be rocking.
Yeah.
The cheapest ticket to get in right now is $398.
Wow.
That's just to get in the gate. That's to have the worst seat in the house. $398.
Then in the 2:30 slate, Texas A&M at Miami. Okay. Little rematch of one of the worst games I've ever seen last year.
Oh, my God, it was bad.
So that's exciting.
That's in College Station, I believe, right?
I know. I think last year was in College Station. I believe this year it's in Miami. Am I wrong here? Somebody double check me. But for me, it's like, look.
Yeah, it's at Miami. Yeah, you're right.
A&M looked really solid week one. Now, granted, it's against nobody, but like we've seen A&M suck against nobody. Bobby Petrino, if nothing else, was like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to throw the ball deep because we have Evan Stewart going against FCS guys. Miami, who's got more on the line here, A&M or Miami? I think that's the interesting, because both
A&M.
coaches are kind of viewed as frauds.
It feels like the LSU-Auburn game in 2016 when it was Malzahn going up against Les Miles.
Yes, the SEC Thunderdome, 2 coaches in or 1 coach leaves.
Yes, whoever loses,
one man leaves.
They're both in trouble, but whoever loses looks like a real buster.
Well, I think it's got to be A&M. I mean,
yeah, because Miami's expectations are still low.
Well, and then Jimbo's been there way longer as well. Like, I think it's got to be him, because he's almost gotten worse at A&M. On a year-by-year record base.
Man,
I mean, 5 technically, right?
Yeah,
5 and 7 from 8 and 4.
He's gotten worse.
well, but he got better first, and then he's gone down. But now he's gonna finish with a better record this year than they did last year, though. I would guarantee that for A&M. So I don't know.
But that's my point. Like, he has to.
Yeah, I guess my point is, though, what has Mario Cristobal ever won? Like, at least Jimbo had a 9-1 top 5 finish, right? Technically on his resume, he does have a national championship, a couple of ACC championships. Like, Cristobal, I guess does he have a Rose Bowl from Oregon? He might have a Rose Bowl.
He didn't have a conference championship, though, and he might have a losing record as a head coach.
Oh, no, he's got like a 50-50 record pretty much as a head coach. It's not good.
Well,
So-
I guess I think is like, for his reputation, he has more on the line. But I mean, Miami's not going to get rid of Cristobal if he has a bad year this year.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think.
Cristobal
they might at A&M.
He's 68 and 67 overall.
68 and 67 as a head
His
coach.
best year was Bo Nix's freshman year when he lost to him when he was at Auburn. 2019, Oregon. They went 12-2 and won the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. So probably more on A&M just because there's so much more. Okay.
Why do people leave Oregon like they do? Like Willie Taggart did it. Cristobal did it. Like, people get that job, are successful, and they leave.
I think it was hard.
I know where he went back home and all that, but it's like, man, you got something good there.
I feel like, I don't know, actually. I don't know. Okay, so maybe it sounds like we think more on A&M's shoulders because they have higher expectation.
Yeah, like Miami, like nobody really expects that much out of him either.
Yeah.
Which, again, you're paying whatever. Yeah, Chris to fraud. Fraud Bowl. Looking forward to it, 2:30. Ole Miss, Tulane, the only other ranked-unranked matchup outside of Texas, Alabama. What is that spread at now, 7.5? How are we feeling? Because Ole Miss, but they did this last year.
Played Mercer.
Well, kind of, though. I know they played Mercer, but I guess they didn't actually do this last year because they didn't even know who their quarterback was at this point last year.
They started 7-0.
Yeah, I know, but remember, like the first 3 or 4 games, they were still bouncing back and forth between quarterbacks, whereas now it is very clearly Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Tulane looked great.
This is the Ben Mintz Bowl.
Do you think Tulane? I didn't think about that. Do you think Tulane can keep pace here, though?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a game.
You think so? So you're taking the wave plus 7.5?
I would. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if Tulane didn't compete in this game and have an opportunity in this game. What they did to South Alabama last week, I'm not going to just say, oh, it's South Alabama. Like, you do a deep dive into that program. It's a 10-win football team last year. They returned the 4th most production in the entire country, and Tulane went out there and dominated that game. I mean, Michael Pratt misses 1 pass, highly efficient. The Tulane performance was a top 5 performance in week number 1 of college football.
True.
And so you have that on tape. Ole Miss is really good, and you got to stop that rushing attack. That's going to be the challenge for Tulane, but I think they'll be in this game, man. They're going to make plays. They're a real team. Like, to win it, that would be an upset. To win the game outright would be an upset without question. But I think Tulane certainly showed that they can show up and be ready for these big games. Remember, it's like the games they lost last year, like Southern Miss, like that was a spot where they were coming off a high and weren't ready for that game after beating Kansas State. Like, they get up for big games.
Exactly. You just said it. They beat Kansas State last year. The year before that, they went to Norman and almost beat Oklahoma, hung with them. So I would like them at home to at least cover.
I like Ole Miss.
Be careful going out on Bourbon Street, too. You're going to see a lot of hair swoops, boat shoes, khaki shorts, pastel polos. You know the Ole Miss frat boys are hyped to get down to New Orleans for a football game.
Dude, the fraternity guys still wear the straps on their sunglasses?
I'm sure.
That's a big one, frat straps
yeah.
is like a saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last
but real quick, last point on that. All fraternities are not created equal. Like what T-Bob's saying, he's bringing it up because that is like a peak level of frattiness.
Well, also, I just mean that, yes, Ole Miss they're the most Greek of all SEC schools, and Greeks love New Orleans. What do they call them? Like when they do like the trips? Like, I don't know, all my friends' fraternities do. You do like a weekend trip. You like the whole fraternity like rents out a bar or something. They just love excuses to come to New Orleans. They're gonna be all over the place coming up this weekend. So looking forward to that. Actually, not all. You just watch out on Bourbon Street. And then finally, 2:30, Iowa State. Okay, yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go, Brian.
Get to 25.
The road to 350 continues. Okay, one game at a time. All right, when we get back, we'll do a quick wrap-up of Week 2 of college football. Get to your comments as well. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
I love advertising for local business, especially when it's a local business that I believe in and I think is actually providing a true service to their customers. And that's what Community Steel is doing, okay? All your steel needs, any purlin, tubing, steel buildings that you need, they got it all. They're Community Steel. Like I said, they're local. Jake's going to give you the phone number. They got a full local sales team, okay? Not some national guys, not an answering machine, not just some online order form. You are talking with people every single step along the way. You can go in and see it. You can go check out Community Steel in person in Gonzales. Look at their incredible facility. See how much they're expanding. You want to buy one of those steel buildings? Guess what? They got them built on site. You can walk through them and experience them firsthand. So I don't care if you're a business. I don't care if you just have personal steel needs. If you want the best prices and the best service, you want it local. You want Community Steel Company.
Yeah, they want you to come. They invite you to come check it out there in Gonzales. And T-Bob's talked about it. The friendly staff, the local staff, everything is local there, including that phone number, 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Cannaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
This Sunday, as we bring you 3 NFL Week 1 matchups, we'll kick things off with the noon kickoff, the 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then immediately following that game, we'll bring you the Philadelphia Eagles at the New England Patriots. And then your nightcap, the Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants, here on 104.5 ESPN.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. All right, let's finish our little Week 2 CFB preview. Remember, if you want to gamble this weekend on a little CFB, DraftKings Sportsbook app is there for you. DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can download it today. If you sign up today, either the website or the app. If it's your first time signing up, use the promo code Baton Rouge. This week, the deal is if you bet $5 on any NFL bet, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly, y'all. Instantly. Right away, $200 that you can then go play with. Jake, give me your best bet of the weekend. Just quick off the top of your head. Whatever you got.
Best bet of the weekend, Oregon to cover against Texas Tech.
There you go. What's that spread right now?
I actually had some movement this morning, so.
Either way.
I got it. I will get it.
$5 in the NFL?
Right now, I see it on ESPN as Oregon 6.5.
Okay.
Okay,
oh, wow.
so
Easy
yeah,
cover. Yeah, go for it. That's
it
a good
went.
bet.
It went back down. Okay, if you can get it 6.5, I say it with my chest out. I said it was 7.5. Yeah.
Also,
6.5.
pretty cool. Here, you know, the Queen just did their whole remodel, the casino, and there's DraftKings Sportsbook app there, and the Volume now partner with DraftKings. How about that? So Snaps, also DraftKings. Love it. Love to see it. So download DraftKings today. Promo code Baton Rouge. Promo code Baton Rouge. $5 on an NFL bet this weekend. If it's your first time, sign up. $200 bonus bets. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility, deposit restrictions apply. Terms of sportsbook at DraftKings.com/football terms. License partner, Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-426-2537. All right. Week 2 preview continues. So we left off at Iowa State last at 2:30. At 4:15, App State and UNC play. The reason I bring it up is, do y'all remember what happened in this game last year?
Yes.
Crazy.
It was fantastic.
It's the wildest thing I've ever seen. App State scored 40 points in the fourth quarter alone and lost the game 63-61.
Yep.
40 points in the fourth quarter. At 5, you got SMU, Oklahoma.
I like that one.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good test for Oklahoma.
We'll see how real Oklahoma is.
Yeah, I think it's a good test to see exactly where they're at.
5:30, Cincy at Pitt. You know, Cincy losing a little bit of luster post-Fickle, but Narduzzi's always got Pitt kind of doing some interesting things. That'll be one of the 4 games on the second screen over there.
Yeah, Pitt was one of the teams that preseason felt like they could find themselves into the conversation in the ACC of maybe being a little spoiler, and I still feel that way. Narduzzi, like you said, he's always got that team ready to go.
And then at 6, the big boy. Well, obviously LSU Grammy, but Texas at Alabama, a battle where you have to decide for you what is the lesser of these two evils. For me, it's actually the lesser evil is Alabama winning. So I will actually be backing the Crimson Tide here.
That number is 7.5, if I'm not mistaken. Can y'all look that up? Yes. Texas, this is your chance.
It was 7.5 last
7.5 still.
Texas, this is your chance. This is your opportunity. You have everything in front of you to go on the road, beat Alabama, right? Stake your claim as we are finally, back as a college football contender.
Yeah, it's gonna
You have every opportunity. If you don't show up or if you lay down in this game, I don't know that I can ever trust you again.
T-Bob, how much money are you putting on Texas this weekend?
I don't love the hook, so I haven't decided
buy
how
it.
confident
You
I
can buy the
am
hook.
in the monetary amount quite yet. I feel a bit like I'm taking crazy pills. That so many people that I know are expecting a Steve Sarkisian-led team to go into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama.
Like
Just
outright,
feels crazy.
outright win?
Yeah, just outright win. That's what I'm saying.
Who's got them out?
The spread,
Right winning.
Furry Murray.
Does he?
Yeah, yeah.
Furry Murray.
Yeah, Aaron thinks that Texas just wins this game. But you know, kind of a lot of people do. So I don't know. I think that's absurd. I don't believe in Sark at all. Ironically, I think a less finesse Alabama is a better Alabama at home against Texas than what they were trying to do last season. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Again, I don't know what Steve Sarkisian is ever like almost, and then it's like you're like, oh well, but he has a great quarterback, and it's like, okay, but no, he actually doesn't. Like maybe Quinn Ewers is great, but I haven't seen that either. So you're just telling me to on faith take a lot of things that I've never seen before. I'm like, okay.
No, I get it. And week 1 was not as efficient for them as it was for Alabama. And Alabama's fans, they know what this game was a year ago. They know what the all-season narrative's been around their team, so the environment will be there. And Texas is going to have to overcome a lot to win that game.
I just hope that no PA touches Sark before the game, because that's going to throw our boy off, and he needs full focus to go try to beat Alabama.
That is imprinted on you.
Yeah, because it's like there are certain things that you see, and you just know that guy's not the guy. Like that's not a leader. That's just not it, and that's one of those things. It's like when I see Will Muschamp on the sideline turning beet red and just about to have a brain aneurysm. Not the guy. You want to demand poise? You want to do that crap? Miss me, Willie.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also thrive in confrontation, and so I don't take it as much.
I'm being yelled at. I too responded well to being MF.
No, I thrive confrontation. So Sark took it a step too far. I would have just been like, hey, pal, could you get your hands off of me just real quick? Okay, thanks.
The dangerous man doesn't even notice that human being. The dangerous man just keeps it moving. You think you should be worried about the PA touching you on the chest?
I just don't like, just like you don't like people touching you on the back of the head. Maybe he's got a chest situation.
He does have a chest situation. There's not enough of it. As Les Miles would say, he doesn't have the chest to win these big games. We've seen it time and time again. But yeah, you know what? Everything's got to happen sometime, I guess. You know, maybe somebody get Irene on the phone, see if Mercury's in retrograde, because that's what it's going to take for Steve Sarkisian to win this game. That's a little deep OTB cut for the homies out there.
Oh my God!
What did the Stars say?
I forgot we did
At 6:30, Wisconsin at Washington State. Washington State beat Wisconsin in Madison last year, so we'll see how that air raid is going to be working. The night slate, actually the best part of the day Saturday. So at 6:30, you're going to have Wisconsin and Washington State. You're going to have Arizona at Mississippi State, which I do find to be an interesting kind of fun matchup.
Yeah, it's good.
Did I put McNeese at Florida? It's not McNeese at Florida, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't care about that game. Sorry. Then at 9:30, you got Auburn at Cal. Okay, a little weird late night Hugh Freeze 2-quarterback system on the West Coast. Kind of into it.
Cal, crushed North Texas in game number 1. So, all
right. And then Oklahoma State, Arizona State. Close things out.
God, they both looked. Yeah. Oklahoma State against Central Arkansas, Arizona State against Southern Utah. No, neither one of them put them away. It was kind of a clunky game. Hey, but one team's got to win.
Oklahoma State feels like the same way we talk about Dabo getting passed up and dying on the vine. It kind of feels like Mike Gundy's run is finally about to come to an end.
Yeah.
It culminated in that. Did they win the Big 12 against Baylor, or did they lose it barely?
They
lost.
had
a very good defense. They ended up losing it barely,
Baylor,
right?
Yeah, Baylor won the Big 12 that year and beat Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl.
Yes.
Wait, so Dave Aranda has a Big 12 and
Yeah,
Sugar
so
Bowl
what
win on his resume?
it was his second year. So he went like 2-10 his first year.
Mm-hmm.
Then he won, but now he's kind of on that downhill
Then he
slide
lost
a little bit
last
again.
year,
Yeah.
And now this year lost to Texas State.
Been a weird tenure.
Weird tenure. Wow. Whatever, though. Yeah, I feel like Oklahoma State's done. I feel like Clemson's done, but maybe I'm being too reactive.
So kind of the same situation we talked about with Florida State LSU to some extent. That game had a lot to do with Duke, too, that people aren't maybe paying enough attention to. Now, Clemson did not show me anything that makes me believe they have life to go out and beat good teams. No. Bad teams, yes. Good teams, no.
Yeah, and like LSU, though, that's, that expectation for Clemson's way higher than that. All right, when we get back here, let's close out the show with a little Ask the Bench. Keep it locked. See you on the other side.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Hannigriff, join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank, and Nicholson. Scott Rabelais, Randy McKay, Wes Reynolds, all with us. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. It's time for a little Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench. Which first-year coach got shorter leashes because of Colorado's performance Saturday? I don't know if Colorado's performance, we're still, maybe over time, if you had a bunch of Colorados where the year one turnaround was proven to be.
I think it's more the year two, though, T, because Michigan State had this. Wouldn't win a New Year's Six bowl game, and then they were bad the next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm just saying, I don't know that Prime, Brian Kelly had success doing this last year too, but
yeah.
I don't know that, if you just hired a guy, I don't know that your leash could be that short. Still.
Yeah. I mean, there's some places that are just absolutely crazy toxic, but yeah, still 1 year. NFL, we see it rarely. We never see that in college football. 2 years, yes.
Ask the Bench. Is Hester's middle name really Troy?
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm Jake Troy, and my son's Jack Troy.
T-Roy.
Yep. There's a lot of T-Roy in my house.
Ask the Bench. Fraternity socials is a term you're looking for. Yes, socials. When you, yeah.
So when it's Southeastern, a social was just renting out somewhere. It wasn't necessarily traveling to a location, though. It was really just like a party. We also had mixers where it would be us and a sorority. Yeah.
So I just remember all my boys from Bama used to come down, and they'd always do it in New Orleans. They'd have socials in New Orleans.
Okay.
So I'd go party with them for a night and sleep on hotel floors and listen to sloppy makeouts going on in the bed next to me.
Ew.
Sloppy.
Ew. There's no better feeling than being in the room when you're younger and someone's hooking up next to you and you're just listening. It's awesome. You remember the first time you ever went to a movie theater and people were making out?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Ask the Bench. Okay, no, that's a little too mean to Sark. I won't even read that one. Let me find another one. Somebody says Irene. Yes, Irene Lentagini, your guide to the stars.
Y'all, I forgot we had done that.
Irene
Ask
the
the
Genie.
Bench. Mine up. Okay, nope. Can't. I think that's could get a straw. Who do you? Okay, here, ask Mitch, if you had an actual holodeck from Star Trek, how much time would you spend just watching fantasy builds of teams and seeing how those seasons play out? I would not spend that much time doing that. If I had a holodeck, there's probably about 1,000 other things that I'd want to do.
What's a holodeck?
I'm pretty sure, and I'm not the biggest Star Trek guy, but I'm pretty sure the holodeck is basically you can just make like anything a reality. It's like the ultimate virtual reality machine.
Gotcha.
We're just living it. I would just do like Lord of the Rings stuff all day. All day.
I'll have to do some research on the holodeck.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what the holodeck would actually be used for. It's what VR is used for in every piece of actual media.
Wow.
Patient Plus Urgent Care, PatientPlusUC.com. That's what I'm going to use it for, to recreate Patient Plus. Are going to be blown away all over again by the facilities. Okay, look, if you need occupational medicine needs, this is not just walk-ins. Walk-ins always welcome, but like you, your family, I tell you all about it all the time. You need to get in and get better. You want Patient Plus. But if you're a business and you need your occupational medicine needs met, I promise you, there is nowhere that has better tech, better service, just an overall better experience than Patient Plus. Go check out the Mid-City location today for all your COVID testing and everything. It's all there. Patient Plus Urgent Care, PatientPlusUC.com, PatientPlusUC.com.
Oh, that. Whew, I just saw what you talked.
There's just, I mean, look, there's easy attack angles on Sark that I won't go down. It's just because, you know, alcoholism is a lot of people struggle with it. But I don't want him to fail in that regard. I just don't think he's the best football coach is all I'm saying. He's never won 10 games. Like, that's the angle I'll keep it at.
Man, what an opportunity, though. What an opportunity for them.
Yeah.
And they should go in loose. You don't have the pressure. People are expecting you to fail. Go in.
More to be tomorrow. We'll see you then.
OTB, OT.